That fan is so loud. Oh, are we live? Oh, wow. Okay. Um, yeah, we should be good. What's up, everyone? What's up? I'm just trying to do some last minute things. Okay, we're all good. What's up, everyone? I'll just wait for some people to get in. We usually don't jump into it right away because I know this is a really it was a literally last minute decision. I'll be honest, because I was gonna do it tomorrow, and then I was like, I just don't think I'm gonna have the time for it. So I just decided, no, let me just do it today. Um, but yeah, I'm just right off the bat. Birthday is in 2 days. It's not today. Let me just say that it's in 2 days, but I couldn't do it in 2 days. I'm gonna be busy, obviously. So I was just like, okay, I'll do it today. It's the best day I can find, best time I can find for it. And there's a lot of stuff I have to do this weekend as well. So I was like, okay, let me just do it today. Let me just do it today. It'll get out of the way and just do a fun little live stream, so I don't have to do it over the weekend and try to like fit it in sometime, because I'm gonna have a lot of time tonight. So honestly, I could probably do this for like 2 hours, maybe. Like, as long as people are around and asking questions, I guess that's usually how I do it. It depends how much free time I have, but the more people asking questions and more interactivity, it's probably gonna go on a little bit longer. That's usually how I do it. But yeah, thank you all so much. I'm sorry if I can't read everyone's name here, but I'll try my best. Um, you will know what I'm talking about. Could you tell us the story of the first shit you took outside the US? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Do I even want to explain the context of that? I don't even know if I do. It's sometimes I tweet some stuff that I just probably shouldn't tweet. Oh, what's up, everyone? What's up, Skullraiser? Crazy K. It's so nice though. Like, I feel like I see a lot of familiar faces. Obviously, like, there's, if you've been in this chat before, I probably recognize your YouTube handle, um, or account name, whatever you call it. But a lot of you I recognize. Like, it's very rare for me to like not recognize someone, unless it's like you're one of your only times commenting. Obviously, then that's different. But that's awesome to see. How does this mic sound, by the way? Does this mic sound good? I have no idea. I'm not exaggerating. I've gone through like 4 mics in the matter of a week. I'm not kidding. So I went from the Blue Yeti, then this thing that I've been using in other videos, and then I got the Elgato Wave 3, and then now I got this Blue Yeti X. Now I'm probably gonna return most of them, because there's no way I just spent like $800 on mics and I'm just gonna leave it like that. No, I'm gonna return the ones I don't use, but I want to find the best possible mic quality, so that's why I've been just switching between them, and that's the only way you can really test mic quality. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to test mic quality. Otherwise, I have to do my own voice, because online listening to videos just does not help. I've come to the conclusion does not help. But thank you all so much for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna be 23. It's, like I said, 2 days from now, I'm 23. How's post-life graduation going? It's going. It's definitely going. Right now, I'm actually doing this course. It's kind of like it's a way to get the certificate in UX design, and I'm essentially doing that because that's what I want to go get into. But getting into that right after college is not easy, so that's why I decided to do a course first to build up a portfolio, and then eventually try to get jobs from that. And it's nice. I'm not like in a rush necessarily, because like I do and still have YouTube here. I enjoy doing YouTube, so it's not like I need to do that right now. I can kind of take my time with this course a little bit, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's less stressful than college was, that's for sure. College was like, professors on your ass every 3 seconds. Now you can kind of just go at my own pace and everything. Would you actually survive a Thanos chokehold though? No, not at all. I got that thing like 5 years ago, and like I've never done a single thing with it. Like I feel like I've purchased a lot. I don't know if you guys are similar, but as a movie fan, I've purchased a lot of like movie memorabilia. Is that what you call it? Memorabilia? Like just things that exist from the movies, and I never do anything with it. I'm like, why did I buy this? Like, what does that glove do for me? It just sits in the corner of my office. Like, it's just it's literally just sitting here. Like, sure, it's cool. It looks cool. Like, you can put your hand in it and like you can mess around with the fingers. You can even give someone the finger with it. Like, it's funny, but like I don't do anything with it. I mean, it was only like $40, but still, like, geez. I feel the same way about like pops, like these things. Like I used to buy these. I used to buy a bunch of these, and I don't do it anymore because I realized like I don't do anything with them. Like they're just sitting in my office doing nothing. Like they're collecting dust. I know a lot of people like to collect things, and that's totally fine if you do. But I kind of just stopped doing it because I'm like, well, I'm not like I don't know. I don't do anything with it. It does look nice, like if you have it like on a shelf maybe, but I can't really put too many things on one shelf, you know? Haven't noticed a lick of difference in audio quality. Honestly, that's most people. I'm like, I have like a weird ear, I think. I can notice like the tiny little difference in frequencies and it drives me nuts. And like I hear the little I think it's because I usually listen to my editing with this headset here, and it like you can pick up like every little thing with this headset. And it's just kind of a nitpicky thing for me, but you know. How does Punisher season 2 compare to the first? I liked it better personally. I'm only on episode 6 right now. I've been going really slow through it because there's been I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the past like what like month, maybe less than a month, I've probably been watching the most amount of TV shows at one time that I've ever watched in my entire life. Like how much are we doing on the channel right now? We got Chucky, we got Gen V, we got The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. We were doing House of the Dragon, which we finished, but you know, we were doing that at one point. The Punisher. Um, what else? There was something else. Loki just started as well. Ahsoka. That's 7 shows right there that we were doing consecutively. So it was a lot. So then that's why Punisher kind of I just stopped doing it as much. And obviously hoping I can get back into that as soon as humanly possible. More episodes because we only have like 7 episodes left of that. But season 2, I'm liking it a lot. I don't think like if we're just comparing the first 6 episodes of season 2 to the first 6 of season 1, I don't know if I'd say it's better or worse. I think it's kind of just on the same level, but um I really loved season 1. I think it's honestly like one of the best comic book seasons I've ever seen. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see when I finish it, but I'm kind of, they're both great. Honey, where are all the scary movies we voted for? I'm so sorry, but yeah, what I just mentioned, like I've just not had the time for it. That's the thing. But I will say, I will likely be watching the one that won the poll. Which what won the poll? I don't even know what won it. It was either the Blair Witch Project or I can check right now. It was either the Blair Witch Project or the Doctor Sleep. I don't know which one won. Chances are I'll probably do both of them anyways, but I'm just gonna check. Because trust me, I will love to get them done as soon as I can. Especially because we're in October, so I kind of have to. But I did do Psycho 2 today, and then REC, I don't know how you would call that movie, but that Spanish film, I'm going to upload that to YouTube probably in the next week as well. I'm editing that right now. Where did I do that poll? Okay, so yeah, the Blair Witch Project won that poll, and Paranormal Activity was in second. I could honestly probably do all that and Doctor Sleep as well, but we'll see. Yeah. It honestly, horror movies is kind of becoming a problem now because I feel like I've seen most of them. That's like the one genre where I've kind of gotten through all the classics. I can't think of many that I haven't seen that are like really well known. But as for other movies, there's definitely a lot more I haven't seen. So we'll get to them. Can't stay. It's after midnight in the UK. Yeah, I've always got to think about that when I'm streaming. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for people in Europe because it's like it's midnight. But I don't know. It's hard for me to stream earlier in the day. So, it's your most anticipated movie of 2023? Like of the rest of the year or of the ones that already came out? If we're talking of the rest of the year, oh, well, what else is coming out? I don't really. I want to say Aquaman 2 I'm very excited for. I know a lot of people aren't. There was a lot of news that came out about it today, a lot of things happening behind the scenes, and it sounded like some crazy shit. But I'm really excited for that movie. I love James Wan's directing, so I'm on board for that. The Killer, which is David Fincher's new movie, I've heard good things about, and I do like David Fincher's movies mostly, so I'm very excited for that. Um, the Hunger Games prequel movie, right? The Ballad of Song, whatever it's called. That one. That looks pretty good. I don't know which one I would say is my most anticipated though. I'll go with those. Those are my three answers. Because there's really nothing else. I'm definitely missing something. I'm 100%. Oh, Rebel Moon as well. Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. You should play the Walking Dead Telltale game. Oh, don't worry. I've already played all those. Those are some of my favorite stories out there. You could actually watch some of my Let's Plays of them on my other channel. I did them years ago though, so don't expect any good quality from those videos. But I did play through seasons 3 and 4. I think 1 and 2 I played those when I was like 12. So like I didn't have those on YouTube unfortunately. I buy too many Funko Pops and now I regret buying them. There's quite a bit I really like though. I could have so much more money right now. That's what I'm saying. Like I could have saved money if I didn't. I mean, most of them were presents for like holidays and stuff, but at the same time, it's like I didn't really need them, but they're fine. Some of them are cool, like that Negan one. The only ones I have in my office right now are Thanos and Negan. That's all I have right now, but I think I have a couple of those in my room. I got rid of my Game of Thrones pops. Now I want them back, but then I realized I have nowhere to put them, and they're not really my aesthetic. Oh yeah, honestly, would I want a Game of Thrones one? Maybe. If any of the Game of Thrones things I want Jon Snow's sword. That's what I want. Have you seen Oppenheimer? Oh, of course, yes. I'm excited for Deadpool 3 and the Bob Marley biopic. In January. Deadpool 3 is probably like it really depends on that trailer because I feel like that movie could either be like one of the greatest like Marvel things ever, or it could also be terrible. Like of course, any movie could be that, but still, like just the way they've been like talking about it behind the scenes, it's obviously gonna have a lot of fan service. It's gonna be like Spider-Man No Way Home with all these cameos and shit. But if they can do it right and they do it in a very like actually good, well written way, and it's not just throwing characters at the screen, then I think it could be great. Thoughts on Gran Turismo? I did not see it. I was gonna see it, but no, I never did. What house would you want to belong to in Game of Thrones? See, I want to say Starks, but like at the same time, they live in the cold, and I don't really like living in the cold. So I would have to say like, I mean, Tyrell's got the money, they got the money and they live in a warmer climate, so maybe, not by the end of the show, obviously, the Tyrells kind of get fucked up, but like I don't know. Did you like House of the Dragon? Yeah, I loved it. I would probably rate season 1 of House of the Dragon above season 1 of Game of Thrones. React to House of the Dragon season 2 already. Damn. The actor for Micro is rumored to be playing the Thing in Fantastic Four. I heard about that. The director confirmed they are done casting and waiting for the actor strike to end for an announcement. Here's my prediction for what that's going to be. Actually, no, I can't really. The only person I'm pretty like confident in is Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, because there's been so many rumors on that, and I think it's like the one where everyone's kind of like, yeah, that's probably going to happen. And then I think there was like Joseph Quinn, the guy who played Eddie Munson in Stranger Things. I think he was the one that was like rumored for Johnny Storm, but I don't know. I think Reed is the one that like I have no idea. Like Reed could literally be anyone. I heard it was gonna be Matt Smith or something, but like I don't know if I could see that though. I don't really know if I'd want to see him as Reed. He's a great actor, but I'd rather him do something else in Marvel. But yeah, the actor who played Micro, I don't know the actor's name, but he'd be good for that. He'd be good for the Thing. Where are you in Better Call Saul, and what are your thoughts on it? So I've only seen the first 4 seasons of Better Call Saul, and I stopped there, not for any particular reason. Like I just stopped there. And I have considered doing reactions to like the last season or something, or like the last 2, but I've kind of debated on if people would be interested in watching that, because like it's really hard to start a show when you're already in the middle of it for reactions, because like people tend to get invested in it when you start from the beginning and then they watch your videos, and you kind of like they go through the show with you. But if I'm already at a certain point and I just start reacting to it, then I don't know if people would care as much. But I'm definitely open to it if you guys wanted to see that in the future. Is there Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul in the plans? I have already seen Breaking Bad, unfortunately. I wish I didn't, honestly, because I would love to do reactions to it, but I have seen it. It's one of my favorite shows ever. And Better Call Saul, the first 4 seasons, I've loved. So, I've heard good things about 5 and 6, but I haven't seen them. As far as I know, the upcoming Scream film will have new directors. Is there anything you would like to see in Scream 7? First of all, I would say I kind of want them to like not, I don't know. Okay, let's say they do bring back the same cast, right? I want them to actually like kill off a lot of them, and in a way that makes sense and isn't just like, oh, just to do it for shock value, obviously. I've heard people talking about, I forget, what is Jenna Ortega's character's name? I forget her name. Is it Tara, I think? Having her die in like the opening scene of that, I think would be a really like just crazy thing to do right off the bat. And then have the rest of the film kind of be the fallout of that. And I mean, if you want to bring back Cindy, sure, but like, I don't think you have to. I know a lot of people say you have to, but I don't think you have to. I don't even think you have to bring back, like, you don't really have to bring these characters back. You don't. You just have to tell a good story, have some good slasher action, some good kills, and I think it'll be solid. Also, have it set somewhere else. Don't have it set in New York City. We have that gimmick for 6. Keep it as a 6 gimmick. Go somewhere else. Go to a different location. I don't care where. Somewhere. But yeah. Wreck was such a good reaction. Oh, thank you. I had a fun thing, or fun time watching that. And I'm even having fun editing it. Because if I like a movie a lot, like editing it is so much easier because it's just a lot like it's a lot more chill. Like there has been a couple times where I've watched a movie, or like maybe it's an episode of a show I don't like that much, and then I have to edit it, and it's kind of a pain. It's like, but if it's like something I really enjoyed, it's actually like really fun to go through it and edit. You heard about Scream Game? No, I haven't. But it sounds cool. I think games like that could definitely work. I've played the Friday the 13th game once. It was fun. As long as it's got good mechanics, it has to have good, smooth mechanics. It can't have too much clunkiness to it. But it's chances are it's probably going to be like a telltale type thing though, right? Like more of an interactive story. I could see that working well for a Scream game, but maybe not. I don't know. I have not seen the Bourne movies. Those are definitely on my list though. Who's your favorite musician of all time? I can barely say that word. I would say Freddie Mercury. Do composers count? I'm assuming you'd count composers, because if you would, I would say Hans Zimmer probably. Have you seen Breaking Bad? Yes, just answered that. I'm always expecting to have duplicate questions, so don't feel bad if you ask a duplicate question that I already answered. That's bound to happen, obviously. Um, have you seen Happy Death Day? Yes, I have. Love that movie. I watched it like around the time it came out, I think. No, maybe not. I think it might have been sooner, or a little, maybe like 2018 I watched it or something. Plenty more good horror movies to come, I'm sure. That is true. Well, there's also new movies always coming out. Like that's the thing. Like, sure, I can watch all the classics, but like, what if a new one comes out, I don't see it in theaters, and then I can react to it later on? Like that always happens. I mean, there's a couple I didn't even watch this year. Like, what movies did I not watch this year that I could do reactions to? I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't see Barbie, by the way. I was really debating on doing a reaction to it, but I didn't decide on that yet. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's just I don't think it's gonna be my type of movie, but at the same time, like if people are interested in watching, hear my thoughts on it, I might check it out. I don't know, but I did not see it. Haunting a Hill House. I watched like the first 6 episodes a while ago. And I never finished it, and I'm sorry. It's not because I didn't like it. I just I just kind of forgot. I'll be honest. Like I just got to a point, and then I just stopped for some reason watching it. I don't know. So I mean, theoretically, could I restart and then do that for my channel? Maybe, but I mean, reacting to the first 6 episodes when I've already seen them might be kind of like weird. I don't know. I have not seen Cobra Kai. Are you gonna see Doom Part 2? Oh yes, definitely. Well, that's yeah, that's next year, right? That's in that March. That was delayed quite a bit, right? What's up, Matt? By the way, everyone who keeps giving me birthday wishes, thank you. I'm sorry I can't say it to everyone individually, but thank you. Birthday cake flavor of choice. Anything just vanilla. I'm just a vanilla guy. I don't know. I mean, I like ice cream cake too, but that kind of like, it ain't too good on the stomach. But if it's got vanilla, like icing and maybe some strawberries on top, something like that's good. I don't like chocolate. Chocolate cake, get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here. Are you currently reading the Game of Thrones books? I started them and I just stopped. Again, it's just I've been so busy. It's really hard to find time for like a lot of things recently. But I did get through, I think, like the first like 2 sections, maybe 3 sections. And what I mean by sections is like, how like they split them up by like the character, and then it's like another character starts the next one. I guess you can call them chapters too, but they don't call them chapters necessarily. I think I got through like a couple of them. So it's really great. Obviously, it's so far it's been very similar to what how the show started, just in some different characters and such were included. But I would love to finish them. I think I'm gonna wait till I have more time in the future. I think I'll go back to it and actually try to read it in like 1 week rather than taking so long to get through it and doing little by little. I'll just wait till a week where I can actually like just sit down and do that. Who's your favorite Spider-Man actor? Yeah, see, that's a really hard question because I honestly think all 3 of them are equally as good for their characters. That is, if we're talking like which one's the best actor, Andrew Garfield's probably the best actor out of all of them, but I think all 3 of them play the role as Spider-Man equally as good. Like, I don't think one of them is like significantly better than the other. Now, if we're talking purely about the writing of these characters, I would say Tobey's Spider-Man probably has the most consistent and best writing. But again, it all depends. I think that all 3 of them are great. You could buy a long claw. I really hope you already know that. I probably could. I don't know about a real one though. I'll probably cut my hand off with it on accident. Do you do socials for a living or just a side gig? Currently, yeah. I mean, right now, but it's not like a career, I guess you can call it, or you would say, because it's not what I'm building towards, what I'm trying to get into. Because I'm still taking this course, which I'm going to try to eventually get a job out of that. But like currently at this very moment, yes, it is that how it's how I make money right now. Yeah. Can't believe Ridley Scott is doing this, but apparently he's making a Gladiator 2. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. Is he making it or was this I didn't know if it was Ridley Scott making it or not, but I did hear about Gladiator 2. It's coming out next year, right? I'll definitely be seeing that. I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead season 1, the first 6 episodes. I not invested. You're saying you're not invested? Well, I hate to tell you, if you didn't like the first season of Fear the Walking Dead, there's not many seasons you're probably gonna like. So, not that I think the first season is the best one. I think season 6 is probably the best Fear season, but there's not a lot of stuff there that I liked. I'm personally not a fan of Fear the Walking Dead. I've said that before. I like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of episodes that are great, but as a whole, the show's not very good. It's probably the most inconsistent show I've ever watched, and there's just some terrible dialogue and writing throughout the entirety of it. It's a shame, honestly, because there's a lot of great actors and a lot of great like episodes within the show. And like if you build off those really great episodes and you actually keep consistent with that, then like you could have a great show that's almost as good as the main show. But I just don't think they have that. So I'm still watching it though. I'm still gonna finish the show. I'm not doing reactions for it. I'm not gonna do reactions for it unless a lot of you want me to for the final couple episodes. But I really don't want to because I don't like the show that much. It would just be me sitting there like, this is trash. Like I would just be saying that. And I don't want to be all like negative and hateful. So like I'd rather just not react to it. I'd still watch it though. And I'll do a review for like I'll do maybe like a ranking of all the 8 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead when that's done. But I don't think I'll do reactions. I'm excited for the last few episodes. I saw someone else ask about thoughts on Troy returning. Like, I'm sure, cool, but I don't know. We'll see. Thought Gran Turismo was actually pretty decent. Stakes were good, and I'm surprised how much it's based on a true story. Yeah, the trailers looked good, so I'm definitely like interested in it. I also really want Mason Gooding for Johnny. He's Chad and Scream. Oh yeah, he would work. Yeah. Well, yeah, they did that in what's it called? Fantastic Four. They had him adopt. Well, no, they weren't adopted, were they? I think no, they were just. I forget what they did. I honestly, the movie stunk, so I don't remember it too much. But I forget how they made them siblings. Was it one of them was adopted, or was it their parents were just different races? I don't remember. I wish Interview with a Vampire did better in the polls. It's epic. Honestly, everything in that poll is probably going to get watched by me eventually, but it's just a matter of when, you know? It could be 3 years from now. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Vanessa Kirby also lights up whenever she's asked about Sue. Yeah, I did see a couple of those. I'd like her in the role. She'd be good. I feel like we don't see you react to a lot of comedies. Do you have a favorite comedic TV show, movie? Okay, so for movies, you know what? I'll actually pull out the ranking right now. I have a ranking on Letterboxd of my favorite comedies. For TV shows though, I mean Friends is my favorite sitcom, so I'll throw that out there. Um what else? I mean, kind of a stupid answer, but I kind of like Family Guy too. Like it's not like a good show in terms of like, you know, it's obviously not like a show where like you're gonna have like characters that are developed and everything, but it's just if I want to laugh, I'll put on an episode of Family Guy. I'll probably laugh. You know what I mean? A lot of those, you know, adult cartoon shows are like that, like Simpsons, stuff like that. So favorite comedies, the Austin Powers trilogy, I really love. Ted was great, as same writer as Family Guy, obviously. Um, the American Pie movies, pretty much all of them, all of, like the main ones. Not Another Teen Movie was so funny. It's hilarious. I actually kind of liked The King of Staten Island too. That's in my top 10 favorite comedies, which is surprising. That movie's the Pete Davidson movie. I watched it a while ago, but apparently it's in my top 10. Scary movies, funny. 21 Jump Street. Um, I guess I classified Mean Girls as a comedy. I don't know. I guess it's a comedy, right? But I put it in there. Oh, anything with Vince Vaughn is hilarious. Like Wedding Crashers is really funny. I think Vince Vaughn's a really funny actor. The 40-Year-Old Virgin's in here. Super bad. Yeah, so that's basically the gist of it, you know, those type of movies. I think the reason I don't do reactions to them, well, first of all, they're not recommended as often as other movies are. And also, I have like comedies for me are really hard to like judge because a lot of comedies out there like put so much emphasis on the comedy and forget about like the story. And even if a movie's really funny, like if I feel like the story itself is not that interesting or entertaining, like it's hard for me to really like say it's a great movie. And I feel like a lot of comedies do that, which is probably why honestly comedies is one of my least favorite genres of film. It really is. Because I feel like a lot of those things that are within comedies I could get from any other genre. Like most other genres are funny. I laugh in pretty much everything I watch. You know, I'll be watching an episode of The Punisher and I'll be dying of laughter during it. You know what I mean? Like it's just I think it's sometimes comedy's funnier when it's not supposed to be a comedy. You know what I mean? Like if it comes out of a comedy and they're very clearly trying to be funny, it kind of changes the way you view the comedy in a way. And that doesn't mean all comedies, like obviously I just listed off a bunch of them that I like a lot. But I think it's harder for me to like a comedy just because of that. And honestly, sometimes I find some movies that aren't even meant to be comedies to be funnier. So Chucky's my favorite show. It's a masterpiece. Season 3, we only got one episode so far. I liked it. I like the start for it. Season 2, I hated though, but you know, as long as season 3 is good, I'm happy. I'm happy. What is your opinion on the new Modern Warfare 3? I have a bunch of videos on my other channel talking about it, but just quick thoughts. I love it. I think it's fantastic so far. That's just from the beta though, of course. I hope Sam ends up being a killer. That's what I was saying. I said that should have done that in Scream 6. I would have loved that, but no, maybe they'll do that eventually. Yeah, kill everyone, just not Chad. I love Just Like with 2 reaction. Thank you, Emma. I really enjoyed that movie. Like, I genuinely, I think it's in my top 50 horror films now, which I kind of want to do that. It's just going to be a really hard video to put together because it's like, it's a big video. But I kind of want to do like a top 50 or even top 100 horror movies of all time, like video for Halloween. I don't, no promises on that. Don't think this is me promising it. It was just me saying maybe because that would be hard to put together. But top 50, maybe that'd be fun. I'd love to do that. What made you want to start this channel? Ooh, okay, I'll go down this rabbit hole. Um, so I don't know if all you know this, but some of you definitely do. I actually have been doing YouTube since 2009. Just crazy to hear. I was 9 years old. 9 years old. I was a literal, almost a baby. And I started it some random channel. I literally just got like a webcam for Christmas or something. I think my parents got it for me because we like to like video chat with our friends on Uvu. I don't know if you guys know what Uvu is, but it was like that old video chatting thing. It's kind of like Skype, but and we used to like, if we weren't hanging out, we would just video chat or something like that. And so I got a webcam and I was like, I'm gonna start making some YouTube videos because that was around the time when YouTube started to become like really popular. It existed before that, but it wasn't like that popular until like 2008, 2009. And there's a bunch of people who are like really popping off at the time. And I didn't want to like become those people. I didn't ever expect to be. I was a 9-year-old kid, right? But I just wanted to make funny videos and like just laugh with my friends and stuff. So that's what we did. We just made stupid videos. We just posted them to YouTube. And nothing serious. It was usually like the most ridiculous stuff ever, like fighting over an orange or something, and we just posted it. It was stupid stuff like that, right? But then comes like 2013, and that's when I decided to make a separate channel, which was a gaming channel. And I was going to make it centered around Call of Duty because it was a video game franchise I absolutely loved. And that channel still exists today. It's the one that, if you click on, if you see the different channels I have, there's Expert Fusion, there's Expert Fusion 2, and then there's Movie Fusion. Expert Fusion, that's the one I first made. That's why the channel name sounds like a child made it, because a child did make it. I literally came up with that name when I was 13. And I just started making YouTube videos on Call of Duty and GTA and all those games. And obviously it was nothing for like years. I think I did like, I want to say like 6 years of it, just kind of like when I felt like it, just random videos. They weren't really that anything. They weren't high quality. Obviously, I didn't put any effort into it. It was just a kid making videos, having fun with it. And it was fun. I didn't even make like money or anything like that until like 2018. And even in 2018, I only made like $20 a month maybe. So it was like nothing crazy. But then around like 2019, around the time I was graduating high school, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to take this a little bit serious, a little more serious, and actually start like putting some good quality into my videos. I still don't think that was good quality, but at least it was better than before. I upgraded my mic, upgraded a lot of stuff, and just started making more consistent videos. And I actually wanted to grow now. I was like, I actually want this to be something that I can grow with. And started making actual money from YouTube. Like not a lot, again, nothing serious. It was maybe a couple $100 a month, but it was, for a 19-year-old, I thought that was cool. So I was like, whatever. And then 2020 came around the time the pandemic happened, and I was really grinding the channel. And that's when I started to actually get a lot of growth. And then I noticed a big problem, because this channel, this whole time, like I said, it was Call of Duty focused and video game focused. But then I also started integrating like Walking Dead videos and movie reviews and all that other stuff. And then it was just a big, just channel had everything on it. Literally anything you can think of was on that channel. And I started realizing that's not good for the channel, because I started live streaming Call of Duty. And I remember the exact day when I realized I need to make a separate channel, because I was live streaming Call of Duty Zombies, and everyone in the comments was just talking about The Walking Dead, which is fine. But I was sitting there and I was like, what if someone clicks on this stream for Call of Duty and it's just me talking about The Walking Dead for 2 hours? You know what I mean? It's a Call of Duty centric stream. It's meant to be for Call of Duty. And everyone's talking about The Walking Dead because that's what people watch my videos for. That was just, they got more popularity. So I was like, shit, I should probably do something about this, because I need to like actually split up the content on my channels and actually make them more niche down. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a separate channel for The Walking Dead. That's what I decided. And it was called The Walking Dead Fusion. That was the name of it at first. and I started doing Walking Dead videos, and it was like April 2020, I think. And then eventually I realized, like, you know what? I kind of want to do those movie reactions because I see people doing them and they look fun. Haven't seen a shitload of movies. There's so many classics I've never seen before. I was like, let me do them. Let me see what happens. And literally the first one I do is gets like 50,000 views. And I'm like, holy shit. All right, I gotta keep doing these, I guess. And yeah, then I just decided to change the name to Movie Fusion because it made more sense because it wasn't just about The Walking Dead anymore. It was about other stuff too. So I was like, okay, Movie Fusion it is. And that's how it's been since. So there you go. There's the whole rundown. That was a lot. But yeah, I'm glad I did that though, of course, because I don't think this channel would have gotten this far if it wasn't stuck with a bunch of other things on it. Like I literally had like 10 different topics. Like I would upload a Call of Duty video, then the next day would be a Walking Dead video, then the next day would be a movie review, then the next day would be a GTA video. Like it didn't work. Like that does not work for a channel. If you guys want to start a YouTube channel, you got to know that. You have to have your content be specific, like to a degree. You know, not too specific, but it has to be somewhat specific. Unless you're already a well-known person, like PewDiePie, he can do whatever the hell he wants, obviously. But, you know, if you're just starting, you have to kind of be smart about it. You can't just post literally anything you want and expect that to work on the channel. It's going to cause problems. So that's why I split it up. You got the movie channel, movies or TV shows. Then you got the other channel with the gaming stuff, or one of them's Call of Duty. The other one's just like other games. So have you seen Underworld movies? Nope. Thoughts on Phase 4 of Marvel? I think it's a lot better than people are giving it credit for, but there's also a lot of issues. I specifically have most issues with the shows. I think the movies are mostly good. Like the only Phase 4 movies I think weren't that great were like maybe Ant-Man 3 had a lot of issues, obviously. I wasn't crazy about Eternals, but it wasn't bad. Thor Love and Thunder I thought was entertaining, but it had some issues as well. Like a lot of them, I just don't think any of them were that bad. I think people acting like those movies are all trash. I think some of the shows were pretty bad, but I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. I think they have a humor issue for sure. They don't really know when to place their humor that well, but I don't know. I'm like pretty, what's the word, positive on Phase 4 when it comes to like what they can do in the future. Have you seen A Quiet Place? Yes, there's a reaction to it on my channel, actually. You should do Barbie for the banter. And maybe. If I do it, it'll have to be before the end of the year, because I want to add that to my, tier list at the end of the year where I rank all the 2023 movies, so probably should. Favorite COD Zombies map? Either Origins or the Reisendrach. Have you seen Midnight Mass? Nope. Firefly? I've heard of that show. Have you seen Death Note? No, I've seen the movie though. I know I've not. I've seen the live action movie. I haven't seen the show though. Did you watch any Walking Dead channels before you made yours? Yeah, I was actually couple of them. I want to say Trev's Chan. Any Walking Dead fan who hasn't seen Trev's Chan before is probably like just, they're probably not actually a Walking Dead fan. Okay, I'm not actually serious with that, but you know what I mean. Most of them have probably seen him if you've watched any Walking Dead content. I don't really anymore. I don't really watch that too much, but back in like 2013, that type of time period, yeah, of course I did. Make a Path Presents made a lot of Walking Dead stuff too. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but yeah, I used to watch some stuff. How old are you? 23 now. Well, technically it's in 2 days, so technically still 22, but. What's up, Mr. L? Thank you, man. Do you like concerts? I've been to 6 of them this year. Probably my favorite one is the Renaissance tour. I've only been to 2 in my entire life. Technically 3. And I probably wouldn't have gone to them if it wasn't for my girlfriend. So, I mean, it's not that I don't like them. I just never had the motivation to want to go to one. but you know, she's taken me to 3 and they've all been great. So um I would say I like them because of getting to go there with her, but I don't think I would ever go to one on my own, if that makes any sense. Like I would never just decide, oh, I'm gonna go to a concert. You know, I definitely, my friends would definitely not go with me, so they, I wouldn't go with them either. Like it's just one of those things, you know. I love going with her. It's really fun, but I, yeah, I don't think I'd go on my own. Well, does anyone go on their own? What is that? That's actually a dumb thing to say. Because why would anyone go on their own? You know, you're always probably gonna go with friends. I'm assuming, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess you could go alone. I just feel like that'd be kind of like kind of scary. I don't know, like in a large group of people that like you don't know and you're just by yourself. Probably, you know, it's not a good idea. I will say though, going to the movies alone is actually underrated. Like I've only done that twice in my entire life, but it's kind of underrated. Like I actually like doing it. I don't do it anymore though, but you know, I liked the 2 times I did it. It was fine. And it was only for, it was for, actually funny enough, it was for the Batman and Morbius. Those are the 2 movies I saw alone. So I don't know. I just think it's funny. Next Punisher vid. Oof. I have it ready to go. Like it's ready to upload, but tomorrow's gonna be Chucky, and then the day after that's, oh, maybe the day after that actually, because Loki I'm probably not gonna get to till Friday anyways, or Gen V. So yeah, maybe Thursday. Season 3 of Fear was awesome. Probably one of the better seasons of Fear, definitely. Have you seen the 100? No, that's on my next TV show poll though. So that might be the next show I watch. It might. I don't know. But we're not getting to that. I promise you guys we are not getting to that poll until like late November, December, because there's just too many shows I'm reacted to right now. It just would not be possible for me to start something else right now. Actually, I am going to be starting Invincible, though. But that's only 1 season. I want to do Invincible because season 2 comes out next month. So we're doing Invincible, by the way. I don't know if I announced that yet, but Invincible will be soon. That's going to be fun. If you could live in any decade, which would it be and why? Me, it would probably be the 70s, as that time was a little peaceful and no wars taking place. Was there no wars in the 70s? There definitely was something. I mean, not on like home soil in the US, obviously, but like there was definitely a war somewhere, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There was something. Obviously, the Cold War was a long-lasting conflict, but like, was there specific like, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like I feel like I don't know. Where would I want? I'm pretty happy where I live now, to be honest. Like maybe that's a bad answer, but if I had to choose something else, am I allowed to say the future? Like I'm kind of curious as to what the future is going to look like. I mean, it could be awful. We could be in the worst things possible, or it could be really cool. I don't know. But if I had to choose something in the past, I'd probably say like the 80s or 90s, maybe. Maybe 80s. Everyone talks about the 80s, so I'll say 80s. But if I can live in any decade, including the future, I'd probably say like, I just want to see what the future's like. You know how interesting that would be? Like, just think about that for a second. What if you just teleported to like 2040 or something, and you had 17 years worth of like stuff to just digest? 17 years worth of history, 17 years worth of movies, TV shows, video games, and just life in general. Like 17 years worth that you just consume in like one day. You just see all this and you're like, oh my God, bro. Like, that would be mind blowing. I mean, I guess that happens to people who are in coma. I mean, obviously, a very lesser, like, you're not gonna be in a coma for 17 years. At least I don't think so. But like, someone wakes up from a coma and it's like a year later, they're like, holy shit, I missed so much. Favorite Song and Ice character, including Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon? Probably still gonna say Jon Snow or Tyrion. Between those two. Did you like Troy from Fear? He was probably my favorite character in Fear, actually, in terms of just like, he was just really entertaining. I don't know. I recommend you watch Insomnia from Christopher Nolan. Yes, he's definitely, that's definitely on my list of movies to watch. House of the Dragon just finished filming season 2. Um, yeah, I heard about that, but it's not gonna come out till what, like spring of next year? Have you seen Shameless? Oh yeah, actually, I love talking about Shameless because um, it was a show I actually really enjoyed, but I stopped watching it at like season 7, I think. So I didn't finish it. But it was really great. I really liked what I did watch. I just I don't know what happened. I just stopped like wanting to finish it, I guess. And then I heard from people that the rest of it wasn't that good, so I was like, yeah, if I get the time, I'll probably finish it. But there was some seasons there I actually really liked. Like I think season 4 was my favorite, probably. Um, yeah, I think it was season 4, right? It was really good. Have not watched Futurama, no. Ted Lasso is amazing. I've heard a lot about that. A lot of people have been talking good stuff about it. Oh, I'm so far behind because you people are talking about things from like you guys are talking about things from like 30 minutes ago. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so far behind. Oh well, we'll get there eventually. This is how it always happens in these streams. When can I get another Resident Evil playthrough? Oh boy, I hope I wouldn't expect that for a while, I'll be honest with you. Because I just finished Spider-Man. I got to do Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then right after that's going to be the new Spider-Man 2. And then obviously I got the Call of Duty stuff coming out soon, so it probably wouldn't be till like December or something. I don't even know. Might be a while, I'll be honest. Um, I find comedies better when they are paired with other genres. That's what I'm saying. Like a horror comedy, I'd rather watch a horror comedy over just a regular comedy. And most action movies are usually comedies in some sense. A lot of them are. So yeah. Favorite childhood show? Probably SpongeBob. Either SpongeBob or um Drake and Josh, if that counts. How are you enjoying Loki so far? The first episode was good. I didn't think it was great, but it was good. It was a solid start. It's first episode, so you know. For some reason, happy birthday. For some reason, I thought yours was on the 12th. It was on the 12th. You are correct. I'm streaming this 2 days before it because I was not going to be free tomorrow or the 12th. So I decided to just stream today instead. What do you think is a movie franchise with only one good movie? Um, with only one good movie. I'm like really positive on a lot of movies franchises, so it's hard for me to say. Like there's not a lot of franchises where I watch all of them with only liking one of them. You know what I mean? Like if I only liked one and then I watch like a couple more and they're just not good, like chances are I'm just gonna stop. Let me look through my letterboxed just to see maybe if I can think of anything. Only one good movie. And you're saying good, so it's not just like great. It could just be one good movie. Damn. I don't think I have anything here that fits in that category. Um yeah, I ain't seen shit. I mean, I've only seen the first Purge movie, so does that count? I can't find a single one, man. That's crazy. 'Cause I'm just looking through them and I'm like, okay, I definitely like at least a few of these movies. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find one. I mean, I could probably think of like if you like franchises, I could probably find one where there's only like 2 or 3 movies and I could be like, oh, it's just the first one's good. But like I can't I don't know. What horror movie do you think maybe deserves a franchise but doesn't have one? So like it's only one movie, but there could be a lot more. Um oh, that's a hard one. These questions are hard, man. um I'm looking at letterbox again. I'm telling you, it helps. It helps so much because it's just like You know, I could just actually like look through and see. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Gremlins. There's only two of them, right? I feel like you could do another Gremlins movie, but I guess you can still consider that a franchise at this point. Um. uh, Yeah, I don't know. You could do a crossover with Megan and Chucky, maybe. They really should do that. If they were smart, they would do that shit. I mean, I don't think it's owned by the same people, but like, find a way to connect those. Do like a Freddy versus Jason type movie with Chucky versus Megan. That shit would blow up the theaters, man. That would blow up the theaters. It'd be great. I've been watching any Game of Thrones channels since finishing the show. A couple. I wouldn't say they're all like Game of Thrones centric channels. Some of them just kind of talk about it every now and then. I watched a couple reactions as well. Nerd Soup does really good Game of Thrones reviews. I watched some of their reviews. I actually listened to their reviews on the plane when I went to Mexico. At least on the way back. And they got good reviews. They got good analysis of those episodes. So yeah, go check out Nerd Soup. They got good Game of Thrones videos. I miss the golden age of COD zombies. There's so much COD zombie stuff that I love that's been recent. There's one thing that they need to do is just make the Easter eggs more like they were in Black Ops 3 and 4, and then I'm happy. That's all I need. Love the House of Dragon reactions. Thank you so much, Eric. I love seeing the reactions to other things too, but I'm waiting for Walking Dead stuff. Well, oh, sorry for the yawn. I definitely made at least one other person yawn from that because yawning's contagious. Well, there is going to be a Walking Dead teaser, I believe, for the Rick and Michonne's show on Thursday. Now, I'm not 100% certain on that because they are showing something related to that at Comic-Con for New York Comic-Con. Are they going to show it to the public, though? I have no idea. So, wait, you think the shows are worse than the movies? No. Don't know what you're referring to, though. So, you think the shows are worse than the movies? Joshua, I'd love for you to follow up with that with what you're referring to because I don't know. Shows suck ass. Yeah, it's the only problem with like I said, being so far behind in the chat. Sometimes I don't know what people are referring to. I don't know if you saw, but your House of Dragon tier list was getting a lot of praise on Twitter a few days ago. Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh, that was so sweet. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was so nice in that. I swear I was gonna make a reply to it or something, but then I just like I think I put my phone down for a second and I didn't get back to it. But I did see some of those. People were being really nice. Did you experience 40x cinema? If you did, what do you think about it? So is that like the one where like they put you in the chair and they go like they go like this and it's like, you know, when you're watching the movie? Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather not do that. I really, I don't think I'll ever do that, to be honest. Because look, doing like a 3 minute like carnival ride where it does that, that's different. But a whole 2 hour movie like this, like nah, bro, I couldn't do that. I couldn't. Like I don't think I'd get sick, but like I would just be like annoyed. I'd be like, come on, like let me just sit still and watch the damn movie. If that's what 40x is, I think that's what 40x is. But like the quick things you do at like a carnival, like you know, you go to like Disney or something and they do a little thing. That's fine. That's cool. I like that. I love the Eternals. Oh, the shows. When he mentioned shows, Joshua, when you mentioned the shows are worse than movies, you were talking about Marvel Phase 4. Okay, now I know. Now I know because I'm seeing what everyone's talking about here, so I know that that's when I was talking about Phase 4. But yeah, I do think they're worse than the movies. There's a couple of good shows that they did. Loki was really good. I think Hawkeye had some good stuff to it. I'm talking about MCU. I'm not talking about Daredevil, Punisher, that stuff. Just MCU. WandaVision was pretty good. Moon Knight had a couple of cool moments, but overall kind of a miss. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, although I really loved what they did with Bucky and some of the stuff with Sam, I hated the villains. I think they're some of the worst villains in MCU in terms of how they're written. They're pretty terrible. And then you have She-Hulk, which the less I say about that, the better. Look, if you love She-Hulk, that's fine. But like, it was not for me. It was just, I think it's the type of Marvel content that just, I felt like what was I doing? Like, I didn't get anything out of the show. I don't think it really did much with the character other than like 1 or 2 episodes, maybe. Most of it was just purely just comedy, and it wasn't good comedy for me. And it's not that it wasn't funny, because it's not about like, because of course comedy is very subjective. I didn't find it to be that funny, but that's besides the point. My issue was how the comedy was delivered. It felt so slapsticky and just it just I didn't like it. Like I just didn't like it. And, yeah, I get it. She-Hulk's, that type of character who's gonna be a little more slapsticky, maybe because she does the whole fourth wall break thing. I think there was a better way to do it, and I don't think the show really delivered on it. So it wasn't for me. And people say like, oh, they made up for it in the last episode because the last episode pointed out how bad the writing was in the show, and they made fun of it. And it was supposed to be like, oh, gotcha. We've been purposely making the writing bad, but that's just like that doesn't fix it for me. That's just kind of silly. I don't know. It is a silly show. I get it. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But it wasn't for me. That's about all. And Miss Marvel, I thought, had a fantastic premiere. The finale was great too, but the middle chunk was pretty bad. There was a lot of terrible stuff in the middle chunk. Some of the dialogue was pretty not good. So it was a mixed bag for me. I think there's some great stuff there, but a lot of the stuff I don't know. And for the movies, I mean, you have Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, both movies I loved. Shang-Chi was really good. I think Black Widow had some good moments. I know people hate it, but I thought it was fine. What else was there? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, one of the best MCU films. So I think there's definitely better movies in Phase 4 than the shows, for sure. And I mean, movies have an advantage of being higher budget and more condensed. So you're not, spanning out some story over a couple episodes that maybe doesn't need to be a couple episodes, and you're also stripping the budget away. So then that's why the shows might have more special effects issues than what you might see in some of the movies. I know some of the movies had special effects issues too. I know. Not as much. Oh, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was really good too. I was surprised by that. So yeah, just a couple examples there. I think the movies were better. My issue with the shows, though, I think my core issue is that they're stuck in this funny place. And this could also be said about some of the Star Wars shows, actually. Some of them, not all of them. They're stuck between a funny place of not really being like fleshed out enough to be a show, but they're also too dragged out to be a movie. Like, I feel like a lot of the stories could have just been a movie. You could have just slimmed it down a bit, cut out some of the fat, turned it into a movie, and it would have worked just fine. It could have had a better budget, could have been on the big screen, and it wouldn't have felt as just weird. You know what I mean? But they're also not like stretched out enough, and they're not as like, some of them feel rushed in the end. So it's almost like, well, we should have just changed the story all around. Maybe took out some of the characters, took out some of the side plots, and turned it into a movie instead of, trying to fit this story into just 6 episodes and calling it a day. I just don't think it works as well. I think the one that probably got hit with that the worst might have been, I didn't even mention Secret Invasion, which funny enough is the only one of the only ones I actually kind of liked and everyone hates. And I'm like, I kind of like Secret Invasion. Call me crazy. I don't know. But I think all of those would benefit from either more episodes or hell, just being turned into a movie. Not that 6 episodes is like a thing that you can't do. You could make 6 episodes work, but like, you just have to do it differently than what they do it. You should save Barbie for a Christmas release. That could work. I'm definitely gonna do a Christmas horror movie though. I really want to, because those are fun. Have you watched Happy Birthday to Me or Bloody Birthday? I don't think so. Have you seen No One Will Save You yet? I heard, is that the alien movie everyone was talking about like a couple of weeks ago? I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I only want to see Ramen Djawadi live. Oh, I would definitely do that. Hell yeah. My friend went to a concert alone recently, said it was pretty sick, full freedom. It could be. I don't think I would do that though. Oh, I accidentally went forward. I went to one concert back alone in 2014. I was 14, and then coming back alone after midnight was terrifying. Oh, I couldn't imagine 14 years old doing that. I guess it depends like what area you're in, what city or town, whatever it was. I go to concerts on my own all the time. Does it bother me? You get used to it. That's fair. I bet you fell asleep to Morbius. You know, honestly, that movie wasn't boring. It was just bad, but it wasn't that boring. I kind of like was entertained by it. I've been to concerts on my own. I always run into people that I know when I do. Yeah, I don't really know that many people, to be honest. So I don't think I will. Did you watch Prison Break? Nope. Yeah, I saw the live action Death Note. Man, here's the thing. Since I never saw the anime, I did not hate the movie. Like I genuinely was like, okay, this isn't like a good movie or anything, but like I wasn't like annoyed by it. I was like, this is actually like I was fine with it, but I would love to see the anime someday because I'm sure it's actually like a lot better. Psycho 3 is definitely worth checking out. I might do that someday. I don't know. The Vietnam War. Oh yeah, that. See, I knew that was in the 60s, 70s. I didn't know if it was exactly in the 70s or 60s, but it was around there, right? I think it started in the 60s and ended in the 70s. So there you go. But yeah. Damn, we were talking about this so long ago. I'm so far behind. "17 years sounds awful. What about your personal life?" Buddy, have you watched Click? Hey, I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm just saying it would be crazy if you did that. Well, here's the thing. What if you did that and you went back in time? No, but that would suck though, because then everything would be spoiled for you. You'd already know what's gonna happen. Well, no. What am I talking about? You win the lottery by doing that, but you know what I mean? Like it was just like, let's say you couldn't do all that, then you'd just be spoiling. I don't know. That's never gonna exist. Time travel is never gonna exist. I'm standing by that. Because if it did exist, someone from the future would have came here by now. So you're studying UX, right? Yes, I'm actually a front end developer, and I really like UX UI too. Awesome, man. I would love to like hear how you got into that. If you ever wanted to, just let me know in Twitter DMs or something. Because I like anyone involved in that. I'm always trying to ask questions just to see if like they have good information of like how exactly to get into it. Because what I'm doing right now is just I already went to college, got a psych degree and computer science degree, and now I'm doing this, trying to build a portfolio with this course, which I thought that would be my best course of action because I did not want to go to grad school and spend like freaking $40,000 a year or some shit. So I was like, I'm not doing that. Did you watch Wednesday? I watched like one like clip, but I didn't watch the show. No. Maybe I'll do that on my channel someday. Maybe when season 2 comes out, I'll watch season 1 or something. Current thoughts on the Punisher show? I love it. It's definitely my second favorite comic book show ever. So it's great stuff. When I first saw you, you looked like Mickey from Scream 2. I guess so. Purge 3 is the best. You're missing out. Damn. I've heard good things about 2 and 3, so I will check them out one day. Yeah, The Purge actually is like a great like idea and concept for a movie. So like I could definitely see them doing more of those. But like I said, I haven't seen the other ones, so I can't really judge them yet. If you can count the Star Wars sequels, episodes 7 to 9, as a movie franchise, then I would say that is a movie franchise with only one good movie. That's actually a fair point because I would agree. I think The Force Awakens is the only good one out of those. Unless you think it was The Last Jedi, which is entirely possible. But for me personally, it was The Force Awakens. But it's hard to just count that as one franchise. Actually, by the way, on the note of Star Wars, I will be doing a ranking, probably a tier list of every single Star Wars TV season and every single Star Wars movie. Don't know when I'll do that, but probably sometime this month. So definitely keep an eye out. Definitely keep an eye out for that. Sorry, I had to burp. The only movies or only show that will have to be not included in the ranking unless I watch it in the next week, which is probably not going to happen, would be The Bad Batch. I have not started The Bad Batch, not watched season 1 or 2. And the reason why I didn't start it is because people were wanting me to do it for the channel, but I was really debating on whether or not I should, because I don't know if there's going to be enough people interested in it. So I wasn't sure. But, you know, I'm open to it. I just don't have the time right now. Like, if I was going to do The Bad Batch, I wouldn't be able to do it till like February at this rate. You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't do it for a long time. But if I could watch it on my own, I could watch it right now. I'll be fine with that, you know? What do you think is the most rewatchable movie franchise? It's going to be a cliche, but honestly, Marvel movies, MCU, it's probably got the most rewatchable movies out there. That's just the way it is. Spider-Man too. I think I could watch Spider-Man films like again and again and not get bored of them. I don't know what it is. There's just something about them, you know? Lord of the Rings too. People freak out when you call Lord of the Rings a franchise. I didn't watch the Hobbit movies yet, but I feel like Lord of the Rings have so much to them that you could rewatch them again and again. Oh, Harry Potter as well. Yeah, definitely Harry Potter. Megan would slap, no competition. What is your favorite horror show other than Chucky? If The Walking Dead counts, then yeah, The Walking Dead. Stranger Things is technically a horror show as well, so I'd throw that in there. Scream TV series was pretty good. I only saw the first 2 seasons, but I liked that. And yeah, those are all my choices. Have you ever watched soap operas? What would constitute as a soap opera? Game of Thrones doesn't count. I don't really know what would constitute as it. No, I haven't seen Gotham. I probably will watch that someday, though. Did you play The Last of Us? Not yet. What are your thoughts on the new Exorcist? Did not see the new Exorcist. I was gonna see it and then didn't get around to it, and I've heard god awful things about it, but I'm probably gonna see it anyways, so I'll let you know whenever I see it, if I do. But I've heard it's terrible. I've heard it's like one of the worst horror movies this year, so that'll be fun. We don't talk about She-Hulk? No, we don't. I'm still gonna watch the next season though, to be honest. I don't know if I'll do reactions to it because I felt that way in watching season 1. Like, I got to a certain point where I was sitting there like, why am I even doing reactions to this? I don't, you can clearly tell I'm not enjoying it. I think I was just holding out for the Daredevil episode, which even then I see a lot of people telling me like, oh, the Daredevil episode was great. Like, the show sucked, but the Daredevil episode was great. I don't even think the Daredevil episode was that good. Yeah, sure, it was the most entertaining one because obviously it's fun to see Charlie Cox as Daredevil, but I didn't necessarily like think it was that great. I was like, okay, sure, it's Daredevil, cool. But I love Daredevil, but just seeing a noticeable character does not suddenly make the show better. You know what I mean? It still is what it is, you know? It's like if you're watching you're just watching a bad show and fucking, I don't know, Spider-Man shows up in it. Like, it's not gonna suddenly make the show good, you know? That's the stupidest example I could have thought of. Are you gonna watch Totally Killer? Do you guys want to see me react to that? Because I was gonna watch that show, like, just on my own. But I mean, if you guys want to see me react to it, maybe. I don't know. Loki and Mobius banter was the right level of goofy comedy. Yeah, I agree. Loki handled comedy pretty well, relatively well. The show also does have a more lighthearted tone for a lot of it, but it knows when to be serious too. So I think Loki fits it really well. I think Loki's definitely the strongest MCU show. Of all the TV shows you've seen, what do you think? Which one do you think has the worst final season? Oh, that's hard because I mean, not every show I obviously finished to completion. There's a lot of shows that I haven't finished. Um, I really don't want to say Game of Thrones. I really don't. I know that's like the obvious answer that a lot of people are going to think I'm going to say, which I didn't hate it. Like, a lot of people, I definitely my least favorite season of that show, but I didn't hate it. Still liked it. But what would my answer be? I might have to go with that if I can't think of anything else, to be honest. I mean, The Walking Dead's final season, I loved a lot of it, but like, I don't think it closed the show in the way I wanted it to. And obviously the show's not really closed because we have all these spin-offs, so it doesn't feel like the show ended anyways. But there are certain parts of that season I really liked. It's 24 episodes, so it's hard to not like certain aspects of it. I loved the final episode, but there's some episodes in there that are like, you know. So I don't know. I can't say any. I don't know. It's a hard question. I'm sorry. It's not easy, man. Um, it's just not easy. The MCU hasn't nailed the TV show formula. They suck at writing material that has to spread out over 6+ episodes. That's why I'm excited for the Daredevil Born Again, because it's going to be 18. As long as they retain the same feel and writing quality of the show, which I honestly don't think they will. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as Daredevil's show, but if it's at least close to it, I'll be happy, you know? And I hope it's TVMA as well. It better be TVMA. If we get Daredevil that's TV 14, that shit's going to stink. It's going to smell. It is going to smell. The word you're looking for is miniseries. Well, yeah, but isn't like a miniseries technically something that like goes on for only like one season? Like that's what they call a miniseries. But just because it has less seasons, I don't think makes it a miniseries, you know? Because like some of these shows, like Loki, it has 6 episodes, but it still is going to have multiple seasons. I think WandaVision was classified as a miniseries because they're not going to do a season 2 for that. I think also, what was the other one that was a miniseries? Was WandaVision no, Falcon the Winter Soldier might have been a miniseries as well. I don't think they're doing a season 2 because they're doing, you know, the Captain America 4 movie, so they don't have to. But yeah. I think the Obi-Wan Star Wars show is also classified as a miniseries. Worst movie you've ever watched? Probably the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, maybe. I don't know. It's a random answer, but it's probably one of the worst I've seen. I don't know. It also doesn't help that there's no clarity on whether the shows are relevant to understanding the larger story for the saga. Yeah, that's definitely true. A lot of it has been like, especially the multiverse stuff, has been very much like, it's like everything has a different understanding of the like. So Loki was talking about like time and how that fits into the wider universe, and then you had obviously the time or the stuff in Avengers Endgame, which was, I mean, that's before a while ago, but that was like more time travel stuff that also kind of fits into the multiverse. And then you have Spider-Man No Way Home, which had the multiverse stuff. Then you had Doctor Strange, which is a whole nother multiverse thing. And, you know, then you had the quantum universe and like the quantum stuff that was going on in Ant-Man 3. And it's just, there's so many different things, but like, I don't think they're like combining them yet in a way that makes sense. Like, I think they need to start doing that because they need to. I feel like phase 1 through 3 did that quite a bit though. Like they always kind of like referenced the other things that was going on in the universe at that time. So like, you know, you had it all leading to Avengers, which was like the first big event film. There was only like 4 or 5 movies that led to that, right? And then they had the next thing going on. And they started slowly introducing like the Infinity Stones, and then they had, you know, the Ultron conflict. And then they split up again. Like they didn't have to have them. And then phase 3, which probably did it the best, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Endgame all had things that were combining everything. I don't think they should jump into the next Avengers film so soon, but at the same time, I think they need to do a couple more things that are like kind of showcasing where this is going to lead to. But yeah, the shows as well, some of them don't have like any place in the universe yet. So I think it's going to be exciting though. Once we get like the next Avengers film, we're going to have all these characters get thrown in there, but I guess we'll see. They're starting to, though. I will say they're starting to. You know, the Marvels is going to kind of include Miss Marvel, so she's going to be included in something else at least. So we'll see. Are you excited for the next episode of Chucky? Of course. I do wish Chucky released right away on Peacock rather than a day later, because I hate watching it live on cable. It's a really bad experience. Just the way the cable apps works and everything is just not good. But I'm excited for it. I think a TV series similar to the film Saw or Cube would be a very cool idea. It would be a bunch of people trying to escape a maze of traps and or deadly rooms. Yeah, that would be awesome. If you want a movie like that, watch the movie The Collector. I don't know if you've already seen it, but it's actually a probably kind of similar to what you're describing. But not a TV series. It's just a movie. The Collector is probably, I think, one of the most underrated horror movies out there. Hey, they love your content. Love what you're doing. Thank you, The Evil Resident. In your spare time, do you watch reactions? And if you do, who you watch? Who are your favorites? A couple, not too many, but I used to watch a lot more. But The Real Rejects, Blind Wave, um, it's Primate. I think that's his name, channel name. There's a couple others. Yeah, usually it has to do with like whatever recently came out. I might watch a reaction to what just recently came out, that kind of thing. So depends. Oh, and for The Walking Dead, Rob and Trent. I don't know if you guys know who they are. They've been doing great Walking Dead reactions. They're really insightful when they talk about the show. So, oh shit, $10 dono from Mike Ramirez. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. My first super chat ever. Got it. Go enjoy a frozen custard or some other vanilla treat for your birthday. Thank you so much. You know, maybe just because of that, I will go out and get a frozen custard or something because I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love this little sticker thing that attached to it. I didn't even know that was a thing, but that's cool. How do you even do that? Is that how like the stickers work now? I don't know. YouTube adds so much stuff, and sometimes I don't fully know what they were, but I don't fully know what they are. But thank you so much. No chopper, you may not. Where was I? I think time travel could be possible. Outlander's time travel is a really good. No plot holes. I know you haven't seen it. It's really underrated. Well, I'd love to see what that is all about. I think the only way it would work is if it was like how they explain it in Avengers Endgame, where like when you travel, it kind of like splits off different timelines. So let's say someone did go back into the past, it wouldn't affect our past right now. That's the only way it could be, I think, possible, because otherwise, like I said, I think we would have seen it by now. You know what I mean? Like this is, you know. Wednesday 2 ain't coming out, bro. Strikes. Well, the writer's strike ended, and I believe the actors' strike is going to end like probably within a week, because they're right now in talks to ending it, just like they did with the writer's strike. So, should be fine soon. That's all I know. It should be fine soon. I also didn't mind the movie. It's okay, assuming you watched the same Death Note movie I did. There's a few. It's just the anime does such a good job at tension, the relationships between the cast. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it one day. The movie I'm talking about is, though, I think it was from 2017, the live action one. I don't know, there was multiple ones though. Did you watch any season of American Horror Story? Nope. But it's on my list for like the poll we're gonna do for the shows, so it might be something we watch. I don't know. The Force Awakens is pretty good. Oh, I love The Force Awakens. You'll see it in my tier list, but I think it is the most underrated Star Wars film. I think a lot of people actually loved it, but for some reason, once The Last Jedi came out, suddenly everyone's like, oh no, I actually hated The Force Awakens the whole time. But like, no, you loved it when it came out. Which you're allowed to change your opinions, don't get me wrong. But like, it was just, I think it was one of those things where like the other movies in the sequel trilogy just kind of made people not like The Force Awakens. But like, if you view it as its own movie, like I just don't see any issues with it. Sure, it's very similar to A New Hope, sure. I don't think that makes it bad though. How was your Game of Thrones rewatch going? I'll be honest with you, I did not continue that rewatch. I started doing this thing where I would just put it on before bed and fall asleep to it, and then like by the time I wake up, like the next season was on or something. So yeah, I've just kind of been like every now and then I'll put it on before bed and just kind of like fall asleep. And yeah, it's just I don't have time to like rewatch it right now, so I think that's just kind of how it's going, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure I'll actually like sit down and rewatch it fully one day, but right now it's a bedtime show every now and then, you know. I always like to put on something before bed. I hate going to sleep with no noise. I hate it. I need something on the background, just, you know. I can't just listen to white noise, or not white noise, like no noise, and just like fall asleep like that. It just, nope. I actually agree with your take that the Force Awakens fight with Rey, Kylo Ren, and Finn was a really good lightsaber battle. It's the best visually looking battle we've ever seen. There's a lot of emotion there. It's intense. It's well choreographed. Like, I don't know what's not to love about that fight, but everyone's like, oh, just people complain about stupid stuff. All right, whatever. You got to rig one of the polls so Peaky Blinders or Vikings win. Damn. You know, technically I could rig the poll. No, actually, I don't think I could. The only way you could do that is if I made a bunch of accounts and just started voting on it. And I was like, that would just not be worth it at that point. And obviously I wouldn't do that. If you haven't watched the Hobbit movies yet, leave it that way. No, but I want to watch them. I will someday. Ian from Shameless is in Gotham. He plays like the Joker, right? Or like I think I think he plays a version of Joker, but they don't call him Joker because of legal reasons. They can't use the name Joker. Am I right about that? I think I heard that from someone. I love rewatching Indiana Jones. I rewatch them all like once every 2 months. Yeah, those are great too. Anything with John Williams music is going to be rewatchable. So Jurassic Park, Star Wars, definitely rewatchable. Will you play any horror games on your gaming channel? Yeah, if I want, yeah, if anything comes around. I mean, I might play The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which I would consider a horror game. I might play that soon. Just a little bit of that. Parasocial, I didn't hear about that though. What about Ash versus Evil Dead? Or I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series. Haven't seen either of them, but yeah, I'm not opposed to watching them. Maybe one day. Spider-Verse was amazing, right? I have an unpopular opinion of it being the worst movie ever. Damn, the worst movie ever? I mean, you're entitled to that opinion. You are, but that's something. I'm curious as to what you hated about it. You have Instagram? I do, but it's a personal Instagram. I don't share it with the channel. It's just for people I know in real life. Don't no one be offended by that, please. I just gotta keep some stuff personal. The Walking Dead is a fever dream at this point. For a lot of people, yeah. What do y'all think will end first, the Marvel franchise or Star Wars? Star Wars is more likely to end first, but I don't think it will. But that has more likely because Marvel has like decades worth of comic material to cover, whereas Star Wars is just making up most of the stuff on the spot. You know what I mean? Like, yes, sure, some of it is taken from like the novels that they make and stuff, but in general, like it doesn't have source material that it's working off of. It's just people just coming up with new things to add to the universe. Whereas Marvel, literally, you could reboot Marvel in like 10 years and then like work from scratch if you wanted to. And you have so much comic material to cover, so many characters and villains. Whereas Star Wars, like I said, like you can't really do much there. You know what I mean? So no, there's a lot to do in Star Wars. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's more likely for them to find like a place where they don't really know what to do anymore with it. Are you going to play Miles Morales before Spider-Man 2? Yes, I should be starting that really soon. The multiverse, good or bad concept for films or TV? I think it's good in Marvel, but I don't want it in everything, if that makes any sense. I think if any, like if The Walking Dead decided one day, let's throw in the multiverse, I would like throw a hissy fit because that would be the stupidest thing ever. But like in Marvel, it makes sense. Sure, go throw it in there. And even in DC, it makes sense. Like it makes sense in certain universes. As long as they keep it tamed down a bit and they don't go too crazy with it, at least right away, you can kind of like work in the craziness later on. But it's an interesting concept. And I think it works best in small doses in Marvel. You know, I don't want to see it in everything, obviously. Are you gonna do the DLC for Spider-Man PS5? Oh yeah, I'll do that. Probably not all the side quests and stuff, but like definitely the DLC. Hope you upload the Children of Men reaction. Oh, I will be. I really love that movie. Any thoughts on reacting to Agents of Shield? That'll be on my poll for sure. Favorite Saw trap. Favorite trap from Saw X. Um, Favorite trap from Saw X. Oh yeah. By the way, like, don't spoil any specifics about like anything. Like, even if it's a show I've already watched, I prefer not, because like there's certain streams where I do spoiler stuff. I see someone who's might have commented a spoiler. Um, like, even if I've already seen it, I don't like to go into deep spoilers, because if someone else in the chat hasn't seen it, I don't want them to have something spoiled for them. So I just, even if I've already seen it, or if I haven't, whatever, just try to, like, you can say things about shows, just don't go too specific. Like, don't be talking about, you know what I mean? Just try your best for that. But we did the Game of Thrones live stream last time. That's when, like, I was free reign spoilers, but for now it's just, no spoilers. For the trap for Saw X, my favorite one would probably be the one with when the guy had the bombs on his arms. That one was really cool. Favorite series, like TV shows: The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. Nah, I smelled the fishy vibes from Force Awakens as soon as I left the cinema. Oh, fishy vibes. I don't know. That's a funny way to say it. Did you watch 13 Reasons Why? No. I did watch a couple of the scenes, though. I've seen like the scenes that everyone talks about. The stream has been distracting me through my booster shot fever, so thank you. Oh, damn. I hope you feel better. I mean, is it for the I was gonna get a shot for, what was it, the flu shot, and I don't think I've ever gotten that before, but I was thinking maybe I just should this year. But I've heard a lot of people get like a fever after it, so I don't know. Once you watch the Hobbit movies, you will regret saying you want to watch them. I guess we'll find out. What are your thoughts on the Daryl Dixon spinoff? So far, it's really good. I don't think it's incredible, though. I don't think it's like the best thing The Walking Dead's ever done, but it's good. It's good. I would like The Walking Dead to like have some like stuff that is competing with like the best seasons of the show. I don't think they've gotten that since season 9, but I'm hopeful for that Rick and Michonne spinoff, because there's going to be a lot of Scott Gimple writing there. It's going to be, Greg Nicotero is probably going to be very involved. But Daryl Dixon has been really good, though. I won't take it away from that show. It's definitely been pretty good. And I think it's probably the best Walking Dead season we've had since season 9 of The Walking Dead, I would say. Actually, I don't know. Is it better than season 11? Yeah. I like it more than Dead City so far, though. So. I would like to watch you play VR Walking Dead games. Well, I will be doing that. I was actually going to record that today, but I decided the only issue I've been trying to think of how I'm going to do it is, so I need to find a way to record my audio without having like a problem with proximity, because obviously my mic, you have to be kind of close for it to like sound good. But if I'm doing VR, I have to be in the distance over there, right? So like I need to make sure I can either hook up a microphone to my, actually, I think there's a built-in head recorder microphone on the VR headset. I just don't know how good it sounds. It might sound really bad, and if it sounds bad, then that's a problem, but I might just do it anyways. I don't know. But I'd love to do that, because that VR Walking Dead game is really fun, and I think it would be a lot of really cool. Have you seen the escape room movies? No. I saw one movie. It was called No Escape Room. It wasn't the escape room movies that you're talking about, though. It was something else, and it was terrible. It was one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen. It was different, though. How do you feel about award shows, Oscars, Emmys, and Grammys? I don't watch them, but I do like to just, like, obviously I'm on Twitter. I follow Discussing Film. They're going to announce who wins it, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't really watch them, and they're not really like something that I'm like that invested in. Like, I don't really care that much who wins, sort of a thing. I think it's nice to see certain people get recognition for things. Like, for that, it's good, but I just don't think it's my thing. Like, it doesn't, like, a lot of people get like really into it, and they really want their favorite movies and stuff to win. And I just don't care that much, to be honest. It's just me. But it's nice to see who wins. And like I said, if certain people get recognition for things, it's cool to see. Like, when shit, what's his name? Brendan Fraser, when he got something right last year for The Whale, like that was great to see. Stuff like that. It's just nice to see people get recognition, but at the same time, it's just not something I get that invested in. Sorry, but Star Wars has 10,000 years of timeline to explore. That is true. No, I'm not doubting Star Wars' ability to probably have a disgusting amount of life to it, but is it going to have more than Marvel, though? I don't know. Like I said, I think the source material aspect of Marvel is what's going to put it above Star Wars in terms of longevity. I think Star Wars definitely will and definitely can last that long. But will it, though? That's the question. Because they need to be good stories, too. Because, yeah, they can tell stories from all sorts of periods, but if it's not good and people stop watching it, then, like, there's shit out of luck. You know what I mean? Like, it's only getting, like, Ahsoka got attention because it was good. It was also based around a lot of the characters that existed in other good things. But what happens when they do a Dawn of the Jedi movie and it ends up stinking? No one's going to care anymore. No one's going to care about that time period because it's not good. You know what I mean? But if the movie ends up being good, well, then all of a sudden everyone cares. That I think is what's going to be important. But I'm actually really excited for that Dawn of the Jedi movie, by the way. I think James Mangold's directing it, right? Or am I wrong about that? I think it was James Mangold. I don't know. Excited for that, though. I just think Marvel has more longevity because, like I said, you could keep rebooting Marvel to the end of time. You could. There's so much source material there. There's so many different ways you can tell it. And I don't think people are ever going to stop watching Marvel stuff. Whereas Star Wars, I could see people getting kind of like, about it in like 40 years. I'm not talking about like anytime soon, but I could see that happening. You're right about The Force Awakens. Like, my overall perception of the movie just went down because of the sequels. I didn't think it was perfect, but it had potential that's unrealized later. Yeah, Finn, he was one of the bigger things about it. Yeah. I still love it though. Like, I don't think it really tarnished. I think I'm the type of person, like, I don't know what it is when I watch movies. I very much disconnect them, even if they are very connected. I do still disconnect them enough to the point where, like, if the new movie comes out and it stinks, I still can see the first one as a solid film in its own right, Who came back? But seriously, what's your opinion? I don't think it's Rick. That wouldn't make much sense. Sorry if you've already covered this in reaction. I haven't seen it yet. I don't want to get too in depth with that just because, like I said, I don't want to spoil certain things that people haven't watched. But all I'll say is I don't think it's what everyone thinks it is. That's all I'll say. Hello, fellow Libra. That is true. I am a Libra. Which I don't like. Coincidentally, apparently, like, I don't really follow that stuff too much, but coincidentally, I'm apparently very much like what Libras are supposed to be, which is weird. So whenever I tell someone, like, oh, I don't believe in that, they do the little test for me and they're like, well, you sound just like what a Libra is. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe you're right. I don't know. What do you think of the Spider-Verse sequel? I personally have it sitting at around a 5 to 6 out of 10. Too much buildup with no resolution. Too many references I didn't get either. Like, it's good fan service, but not for me as a light Marvel fan. I thought it was pretty great, but I definitely thought it wasn't as good as everyone was saying. So I agree with you there, where it's like, I didn't think it was this like masterpiece, best movie of the year type thing. I didn't think it was close to being one of the best Spider-Man movies either. I even like the first one more, but I still think it was pretty great for what it is. But I think part of it, yeah, not having a wrapped, not feeling like it was complete, which people are saying, oh, it's a part one, but there's plenty of part one movies that really feel like they wrap it up. So I don't really like agree with that as like a counter, because it's like you could still feel like you wrapped it, like Avengers Infinity War. That felt very conclusive, even though it was still, there's another movie coming after it. You know what I mean? It still had a great third act that felt complete. Whereas I felt like Across the Spider-Verse kind of did feel like, okay, it's building up to something and then just ends. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, I know we're getting a third one, I know, but it didn't feel satisfying. You know what I mean? What upcoming movies are you looking forward to? I'll tell you right now. I might as well just pull it up because I got this little watch list and I'll sort by release date and then I'll go right down. The Killer, David Fincher's The Killer. Um, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played the game, but for some reason I'm excited to what the hell that movie's gonna be. So I'll put that there. The Marvels, I'm not really excited for, but it's a new Marvel movie, so sure, I'll watch it definitely. The Hunger Games prequel, definitely very excited for that. I think it looks really good. Like that shit actually looks really, really good. And assuming it's gonna be quality. Napoleon, directed by Ridley Scott, looks pretty good. Aquaman 2, Rebel Moon by Zack Snyder, Silent Night, directed by John Woo. I don't know if you guys saw that trailer. John Woo is a pretty good director, but Silent Night, that shit looks fire. Great. It's one of those Christmas like action movie things. It looks great. So if you liked what was it last year, Violent Night, I recommend Silent Night. It looks good. Well, I can't really recommend it. I haven't seen it, but it looks good. The trailers look good. And then next year, there's a couple of movies. Obviously, Quiet Place, Day One, the new Planet of the Apes movie, Deadpool 3, Dune Part 2, Joker 2. Obviously, that's not really soon, but you said upcoming movies. That's fucking a whole year and a month from now, but still. What VR headset do you have? The Oculus Quest. The Oculus Quest 2, I think. Yeah. But I connect it. I don't use like the wireless one though. I connect it to my computer, so I use Steam VR through it, and it's pretty good. Oh no, I'm out of water. I hate when I run out of water. It's not fun. How long until a Walking Dead character ends up in space? Oh, I'll give it a couple seasons. No, I don't know. Does your butt ever fall asleep or grow numb from sitting on these live streams so long? I sometimes sit on my leg. My leg gets numb. Like I sit in a really weird way where I'm like sitting on one of my legs or one of my foot. Yeah, I recommend the Quest. I have the Quest 2. I'm sure the Quest 3 is even better. I also had the PlayStation VR before, but I didn't like it too much. I think it was really wonky. I'm sure the new PlayStation VR is good though. This was like the first edition of it, but yeah, it wasn't very, very, very good. I recommend either getting Oculus, either Quest or just a regular Oculus. Or what was the other one? What was it, like a Valve or something? There's another one that I think is pretty good too. Why can't I send a super chat? I don't know. You should be able to, but I'm not sure. If you get a Meta Quest 2, you can plug in any headset. What do you mean any head? Like for a microphone? Also, back to why the MCU and Star Wars shows feeling weird or drawn out. A lot of them started as films in initial planning, then got swapped to series. Yeah, that makes sense. Kenobi and Secret Invasion. Yeah, I could see that. That's kind of the issue, yeah. Love your channel. I follow you from Italy and I appreciate so much the way you talk about movies and series. Thank you, Nick Straker. Thank you. Star Wars can survive on its own. The MCU following existing content can only go on so long, like The Walking Dead. Well, is it just about the MCU though? We're talking Marvel in general. Because it doesn't have to be just the MCU. You could reboot the MCU and start a whole new version of it based on the Marvel content. You know? My opinion, Daryl Dixon has been better than Dead City. I agree. The astrology is supposed to make you feel like it describes you to a T. It's just blanket statements. Probably. I'm not saying I believe in it. Obviously, it's not true, but but it's just coincidentally, it just happened to align. A lot of it did feel like it aligned to me somewhat. But I was just like, okay. What's the absolute cheesiest movie you've ever watched? Oh, that's so hard. I do have a romance list ranking on Letterboxd. I feel like if we're talking cheese, well, does it have to be romance cheese? No, because when I think of the word cheese, I think of romance stuff. I guess it could be other stuff, right? I don't know. No, because I can't even look at my favorite romance movies because my favorite romance movies are usually not that cheesy. They're usually like the opposite. They're usually like more like gritty, and like half the time the relationship you can tell is like not even doesn't even work. Like those are usually my favorite types of romance movies. I don't know why. That's a hard question though. I can't really think of it right now, but maybe I will eventually, and I'll let you know. Hogwarts house. I took that test and they gave me Slytherin, so I don't know. Maybe I am Slytherin. Have you seen the new trailer for the slasher movie Thanksgiving? I haven't seen the trailers, but I've heard about it. And I might not watch the trailer. I kind of want to go into some movies where like I already know if it's a Thanksgiving slasher, I'm probably going to like it. So like I'd rather just go into it blind. Like I don't need to be sold on it, you know what I mean? Like if I'm already sold on it, don't need to watch the trailers. Unless I'm like really excited for it, obviously, and I want to do a trailer reaction, then I watch the trailers. But that's different. That's different. But a lot of times for those movies that are like lesser known movies, I usually just skip the trailer. I'll probably see it in the theaters, though. I'll probably see a trailer anyways, so. Good luck with UX, bro. Keep doing the good work here. Really enjoy your reactions and reviews. Thank you, Matthias. If I'm saying that right. Never heard of PlayStation VR. Yeah, they have their own VR headset and you hook it up to the PlayStation. And I didn't like it. It was really wonky the way it was. It didn't like, it wasn't well calibrated, I guess. But what do you call it? The Oculus, though, so far has been very good, really well calibrated. So it's fun. I played a little bit of the Saints and Sinners game. I also played Blade and Sorcery, and I got a mod for it, which is really cool. Maybe I'll do that on live stream one day. That'd be freaking nuts. I don't know if it'd work that well, but maybe one day. Yeah, for a mic. I guess I could do that then, yeah. I guess I could hook up, like, I have a tiny mic that I can just, like, attach to my shirt. Oh, Charlotte, thank you for the 150-pound donation. I appreciate it, Charlotte. And you got a little cake thing next to it as well. Again, I think that's a little cool feature of the super chat. I didn't know you could do that. Disney Plus looks to delay Echo amid skinwalking? I don't know what skinwalking means. I'm going to be honest. Controversy. Disney Plus is retooling the whole series before it dumps all at once next month. I did hear about it being delayed, I think, right? Because it's not coming out soon. It's not coming out anytime soon. I tried to send a super chat, but it didn't ask for my debit card information, so I can't send one. Oh, that's weird. I don't know if it's on my end, because other people did send them, so I don't think it's on my end. Oh, that's weird. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, no, this has nothing to do with the super chats. That technically should be fine, but they limited my monetization on this video. And you know what I'm thinking it is? It's probably because of the thumbnail. Because I'm choking myself in the thumbnail with the freaking Thanos thing. That is so stupid. Come on, YouTube. Why are you guys such like... They're so like... It's just funny. Like, I don't get it. Like, people be posting like terrible stuff online, and like I post a harmless thumbnail of me holding a... Okay, I don't know. Whatever. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's just funny. I think Marvel's more limited in what they can do because it's all kind of one genre. Well, see, that's the problem. It shouldn't be one genre. That you have a good point there, but it really shouldn't be one genre. Well, if you're talking about the whole Star Wars thing, technically Star Wars is limited too, if we're going to be honest, but neither of those should be one genre. They should be multiple. Naked Jalen, thank you for the $1 donation. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But yes, so what was I saying? Marvel. I think they shouldn't be one genre because that's what it kind of has been. A lot of them have just been action comedies, right? We need some horror movies in Marvel. We need just, She-Hulk, to be fair, that was one of the only ones where they actually did try a different genre, and I hated it. But I'm still open to them trying that as long as they can execute it well. Like that's like a pure comedy, obviously. They can do, more. See, here's the thing. I think they have done some. Like we're talking about thrillers, right? They did a couple thrillers that are more so spy thriller as opposed to um what do you call it? Just pure action comedies. Then there's been horror elements to some of them, but yeah, I do agree they need to go a little further with the genres. Give us a horror movie, a Marvel horror movie. I know they did the Werewolf by Night thing, but I haven't seen that yet, so I can't really comment on it. But I'm talking like hard R-rated Marvel shit. If they introduce Carnage to the MCU eventually, because I know they have Let There Be Carnage for the Sony stuff, but if they put Carnage in the MCU, I want an R-rated Carnage, because we didn't get that, unfortunately, before. Thank you so much, Film It Lee, for the $10 donation. I really appreciate it. I know that the show came out last month, but have you watched One Piece live action yet? And do you plan to see the anime? I was gonna watch it, and then I did a poll, and most of you voted no. So I didn't watch it. I would have done it if people voted yes, but that doesn't mean I'll never do it. It just means not for now, because there's been just way too many shows coming out recently. So maybe in the future, definitely. Maybe the anime as well. No idea for sure though. But I would love to. Definitely. I'm never gonna say never, that type of thing. I'm never gonna say never to it. Blade is a horror movie. Exactly. Blade should be a horror movie. And they should not be scared to make them R-rated either. But here's the thing. If they do that, they now raise an issue of, okay, well, there's going to be some audiences that maybe they can't see R-rated movies. Are they going to be left out from not being able to see it? And to that I say, fuck them. I'm kidding. No, I don't think it's a problem, because if you don't make them necessary to watch, then they don't have to watch it. They don't, if you're too young to see it and you can't see it in theaters, which, I mean, anyone can see an R-rated movie. You don't have to be actually 17 to see it. It's just a matter of, okay, they can't see it alone in the theaters. They have to have a parent along with them, but they still could see it necessarily. But the best way to do it is don't have them be like necessary to view projects. For example, if they do that Blade movie and they make it R-rated and it's a horror movie, you don't have to make Blade like a necessary viewing for, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It could just be its own side story that just works really well, builds up the character. Maybe Blade is in another movie, maybe he's in an Avengers movie. I don't really think Blade needs to be in Avengers movies. I don't really think he would fit there. He could, but I don't think he has to be. But regardless, like, you could just have that be its own thing. Deadpool is the only one where I'm going to be really confused about, because that's going to be R-rated. It's already confirmed to be R-rated. But I feel like Deadpool 3 is going to be really important for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I don't really know what they're going to do about that. I guess we'll find out. I have no problem with them doing that, though. And DC is doing a great job with that. DC is definitely better than Marvel when it comes to other genres, because we got the Batman, which is definitely different than any other DCEU show or movie. Then you have Joker, and we're getting a freaking Joker 2 musical. So DC is doing a better job with the whole genre thing. I will say that. Film It Lee, thank you so much for a $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Maybe also watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners, considering the DLC just came out for the Cyberpunk game. Is that a TV show or a movie? Sounds interesting. I haven't played the game, but maybe one day. I need gum because I ran out of water, and if I don't have something that is salvating my mouth, then I will die. So I need to chew on something. I'm glad I'm actually like caught up with the chat now, so I can actually like, basically talk to people rather than just like answering what they said a long time ago. I won't chew on the gum for too long, by the way, so if you get annoyed by people chewing on gum, don't worry. You mentioned liking the Cat in the Hat movie. I think that's considered a cheesy movie. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I think that movie's ridiculous, but I love it though, so. Who's a better actor, Adam Sandler or Ryan Reynolds? Well, it's hard to say because I haven't seen like every movie that they're both in, but from what I've seen, I think Ryan Reynolds is a little better. Do you have a favorite Resident Evil game? Only played Resident Evil 2, so, and only played one part of it as well. I only played a Leon story, so I loved it, but that's the only one I played, so I can only comment on that. Oh, you're right. I should mention my favorite romance movies. Let me do it. Should have done it. Okay. Number one, Titanic. It's a romance movie. It is. 90% of that movie is focused on that romance. So Titanic's a romance movie. That's number one. Number two, Edward Scissorhands. Again, it's a romance. I'm telling you, it is. Number three, The Family Man, which is kind of a comedy / romance, but I think it counts as romance. Number four, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Number five, American Wedding, which, yes, I would classify as a romance. La La Land is here. Palm Springs, The Notebook, the other American Pie movies, because again, I count them as romance movies. Brokeback Mountain's in here. Love Rosie. Yeah, there's not too many there, but there's not many romance movies I like that much, I'll be honest. So it's kind of similar to the whole comedy genre thing, where it's like, I don't really like movies that are only focused on just romance, but I do like romance elements in like other pieces of media. You know, like everything with Peter and Gwen in The Amazing Spider-Man, I think is fantastic. But that's not a romance film. It's not all about the romance. It's just that's a big part of it. And I think it's great stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing with the whole comedy thing. Remember the time before Adpocalypse? Yeah, with the whole YouTube thing? Yeah. Well, I don't think it's not as bad as it was in like 2019, I think. I think that's when it was like really bad, but it still is kind of annoying. YouTube is really inconsistent, yeah. It's bad. But it's been pretty good recently though. I haven't had too many issues, I will say. Like I'll take my blessings where I can. Recently they haven't been too bad with my videos. I haven't gotten too many problems, so it was really bad last year. When I started Game of Thrones, oh my god, they were hitting every Game of Thrones video. It was so annoying. But then for some reason, I don't know where they just stopped doing that. So I was like, okay, cool. I heard you doing reaction videos for episodes of How I Met Your Mother. Is that true? I don't know who said that, but I never said that. I will watch the show, but that's not a show I'm going to react to. Unfortunately, to those who might have wanted to see me react to it, but I gotta have some shows to myself. I gotta. But yeah, which do you prefer, the MCU or the Walking Dead universe? I mean, the MCU is probably more consistent. The Walking Dead universe is like my favorite thing ever, but like there is a lot of bad stuff to it, so I don't know. It's hard to say. But the MCU probably. I don't know. But like if I could choose to take creative control over one of them, I would say The Walking Dead in a heartbeat. I have a lot more like ideas for that, you know? Please retract your statement saying She-Hulk is a comedy. If Sony didn't give us R-rated Carnage, I doubt Marvel will. Well, here's the thing. Sony learned from their mistakes, and they're making Kraven R-rated. So if they learned, I think Marvel will. And if Deadpool 3 does really well, I think we're in for a good time when it comes to R-rated comic book stuff. I think we're going to get a lot more. Also, Joker 2, if that does well, I think DC will know, like, yeah, we got to start doing some more R-rated stuff. I think they're going to do it. The YouTube police department sucks ass. I finally got 1,000 subs and can't even monetize my non-copyrighted videos. Ah, damn. The MCU experimented with genres earlier. I think the first Cap movie was more of a war movie. Winter Soldier was a spy thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy was quite different to the other. Yeah, that's true. They definitely had more diversity in the beginning. And then now I feel like most of them are kind of action comedies. So I can see that. It's your birthday today? No, it's 2 days from now. So I had to stream today though, because I couldn't do it tomorrow or the next day. So decided I would do it today. The Deadpool movies are R-rated and did pretty good. Marvel needs to work on lowering their budget so they can make more money at the box office. because they're so freaking expensive to make these days. Yeah, I don't really know how they can do that though, because like if they were to lower their budget, they would have to take it from something, and like what do they take it out of? You know what I mean? Because like let's see, they just signed a deal with writers and they're gonna sign a deal with the actors, so chances are they're gonna be paying the writers and actors more, which means they can't take away from them. And I would hope they wouldn't take away like salaries from like VX workers or something like that, or special effects workers. Like I don't think they should take away money from any of those places. So like I don't know how like movies can just lower their budgets. I think the best way to do it is just do it in one go, because I think that's the problem. I think that's the reason a lot of Marvel movies recently have had such high budgets, is because of reshoots. And to be fair, those reshoots, they're probably spending all that money to try to fix problems that maybe existed with the movie to begin with. But if they just didn't have those problems to begin with, maybe they wouldn't have to spend that extra money. So maybe plan it out better. Make sure you're not going to have to do a bunch of reshoots, and you're good. So I do think that's how they can do it. That's the only way I can think of. But other than that, I mean, they can't take away money from the workers and stuff who already work there. They can't just be like, oh, sorry, we have to pay you guys less so we can have a lower budget. No, I don't think that'd be a good idea, obviously. So the only solution I can think of is just don't focus so much on these reshoots that probably cost a lot of the budget, you know? And hopefully more people will go to the theaters, because that's another big issue. People aren't going to the theaters anymore because they know they can just watch it on streaming probably like a month later. So that's another big issue too. I remember people complaining about how their kids couldn't watch the Snyder Cut because it was R. Snyder Cut's not even like that bad though. Like the R rating is like just there so like when you have a character slicing another character with an axe, they can show a little bit of blood, because it's like, okay, it'd be pretty stupid if if Steppenwolf slices an Amazonian with an axe and the character just nothing comes out of them. You know what I mean? So I think it just makes the movie better on that front. But like, it's not like the Snyder Cut has like full on sex scenes or anything like that. Like it has none of that. You know, there's no like, there's not too much cursing. They might have cursed a couple times, you know? So that's why I like R rating, is mainly so they can just be more gritty and they can kind of like just show a little more. They don't have to hold back as much. They don't have to worry about trying to feel less organic, because I feel like a lot of PG-13 movies feel that way. I feel like R-rated is just less restrictive. They can just do whatever. I don't need to see like naked people. Every time I say I want this movie to be R-rated, they're like, "Oh, you just want to see nudity and F-bombs." It's like I do not care about the nudity. I do not care about the F-bombs. Well, actually no. A little bit of F-bombs is actually a good thing, because I think it's really organic when you can hear that. Because watching a movie with grown adults not ever using the F-bomb, like it just doesn't feel real half the time, because it's like I've never been in a conversation with adults today where like I don't hear certain curse words being thrown out every now and then. Like some people, sure, it depends on the environment. Obviously, if you're in work, it's different. But like out and about with friends at like a bar, like people are gonna be cursing. That's just how it is, you know. I think our rating, you're allowed to do that. It feels more organic. It feels more like you're actually watching real people as opposed to people acting, you know. I'm not saying everything has to be R-rated. That would be ridiculous. But I'm just saying there's certain places where I can see it having more, you know, it works better. I'm glad The Walking Dead's been allowing F-bombs recently. Oh my God, Daryl Dixon has had like probably 15 F-bombs. It's insane. Walking Dead never had those before. I don't know why all of a sudden AMC's allowing them, but they never did before. Your mic's picking up the chewing too well. Damn. I didn't know it was. Yeah, this is a very detailed. It's a condenser microphone, so it picks up everything. The dynamic mic I had didn't, but I didn't like the sound of it, so that's why didn't want to use it anymore. Are you doing anything for Halloween this year? At the most, I'll be going out to like a little party or something. That's probably it. In terms of dressing up, I have no idea yet. There's a slight chance, maybe something, and I definitely will tweet about it or something if I do. So you'll know what I dressed up as if I do. Last year I was Anakin Skywalker, which I don't usually dress up. Like I didn't before that. I like didn't dress up for years. It really only go if I only do if I am going somewhere. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's like, hey. Did you say Edward Scissorhands? Hell yes, I did. Do you rather the first or second part of Titanic? I think it says a lot about a person. Like, which part do I prefer? Well, that's hard because obviously, like the second part is more intense. It's more emotional. There's more to it, but the first part is the build up. A lot of great character work sets up the characters very well, so you care about them in the final part of it. I think it's a perfect movie, but it's hard to say which part I prefer. I don't know. What I'm sensing is your perception of romance is fucked up. No, it's honestly the opposite. Here's the thing. It's the opposite, right? Like I just don't find like no, it depends. It depends, right? I like watching a good like healthy romance story that works and is good and all that. But do I want to watch a whole movie focused on just that? I don't know. I think it's much more entertaining to watch one that's very dysfunctional, very just like all over the place. Sometimes it's not meant to be like that sort of a thing. I think it's sometimes more entertaining. But if I'm just watching a movie and it just happens to have a romance story in it, like I'm not gonna not like it just because it doesn't have any like problems with it. You know what I mean? Haven't seen Crazy Stupid Love. I've heard about it though. Play more horror games. I would love to. Bro was gonna say Marriage Story. You know, it was crazy. That's on my top 20. I just didn't say it. That's in my top 20. Is YouTube your full-time job? Currently, kind of. I wouldn't call it full-time just because I'm also taking a class right now. So it's like kind of half and half. But it's where I make my income. So yeah, I guess if you want to call it full-time, sure. Kind of. I definitely work on it enough to consider it full-time. I probably put at least 40 hours a week to it. Maybe 30 or 40. So you can call it full-time. Do you watch any documentaries? Not really. I've definitely seen some, but I don't really. I've heard good things about Community, yeah. Marvel content sucks since Endgame. I don't know what people expect now. Yeah, I mean, Phase 3 was definitely better, but I definitely could see there was a couple of great stuff that we've had since then. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Black Panther 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2. I think those are all great. So, MCU just needs to take their time and stop putting out so many projects in one year. Well, here's the thing. They make a lot of money. Like I think they're able to put a lot of projects out. It's just a matter of some of them are being rushed. They do need to take their time on some of them, but some of them pan out just fine. So I don't know. Because what they used to do, like 2 movies a year, then they started with 3, and then they got to a point where they were doing 4 a year. This year, though, we only got 2 so far, right? We're gonna get 3. No, we only got. Did we get? How many did we get this year? 2. We got 2 this so far. We're gonna get 3. Yeah. And then you got the shows, obviously. But I don't think 3 a year is too much. I think 3 movies a year, and then 2 shows. I think that's fine. Because we have Secret Invasion, and then we have. Yeah, there wasn't that many this year, to be honest. I don't think they put out too much this year. Three movies and then 2 seasons of a television show. I think that's fine. Last year they had a lot. Last year might have been too much, but this year, no, I think it was fine. I don't know. So I don't see the issue. As long as they can actually do it, though, that's the thing. Yes, if they're rushing it, then that's a problem. They need to, hold off a little, get more people to work on it so they don't have that issue. But in general, I don't think it's too much in terms of like consuming too much content. Like it's not that bad, Yeah, I think it's the reshoots though. That is true. In general, we got a lot of movies and a lot of blockbusters. That is true. But I think specifically for Marvel, I don't think 3 is too much a year. They did do 4 last year, so that was a bit much more. But 3, I think, is fine. But then you also got to take into account, yes, we're getting all the DC stuff, which DC is getting nothing next year. So anybody who is fatigued on DC, there ain't nothing except for Joker 2. That's which doesn't even really feel like DC. So don't expect nothing from DC next year. Rick saying they're screwing with the wrong people just doesn't land as hard. I agree. I'm glad they replaced it with they're fucking with the wrong people, though. It's so good. Romance movies in the 2000s are not great. All right, we'll probably be streaming for another, like, I'm gonna say 10 minutes, maybe, something like that. Not too much longer. I would like to maybe edit something tonight. All right. Pretty Woman's good. Cinderella retelling of Cinderella was a hooker who got hired by the prince. Interesting. Maybe I have to watch that. I think AMC is allowing the F-bombs because they're airing on their own streaming service now. Yeah, that is true, but they also are airing it on cable, so I don't know how that works. Like, I don't watch it on cable. I watch it on the streaming service, so I don't know if on cable they must be bleeping it out, right? Because I don't think they're allowed to for AMC. I think they like have an issue with it. Like even Breaking Bad had a couple F-bombs, but they would bleep them out when you watched them on cable. I have not watched the Underworld series, no. As Above, So Below? No, I've heard about it though. Yeah, I don't know how these companies are like able to lose all this money and like not have like a big problem with it. Like it's kind of crazy how much that some of these companies have been losing. You need to start watching non-comic book content. I mean, comic stuff gets repetitive. No, I agree, but there's just so much. So I mean, it's just there's a lot of comic stuff I watch, but I do watch stuff that's not. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. So, I mean, in terms of movies, I've not been watching too many movies recently, but I mean, every new movie I watched in September was not a comic book movie. Every new movie in August, other than Blue Beetle, no, I watch a lot of stuff that's not comic books stuff. For shows, yes, we're doing Loki because that's a new show, and then I'm still doing The Punisher, but you know, again, that's just a show I wanted to watch because it's really fucking good. Can't wait for Joker 2, me too. Hoping you're considering Attack on Titan. I would love to. The only issue is like I've been hearing a lot of people doing reactions to anime having a lot of trouble with copyright. So I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. If I ever decide to do it and we have copyright issues, maybe we'll just stop doing it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think DC Elseworld stuff is what I'm like really excited for because they're gonna have a lot of projects that are gonna be likely R-rated and are likely gonna be very different and unique, just like Joker was. What are you looking forward to for the second season of House of the Dragon? Well, first of all, just the actual falling out between, again, without spoiling stuff, because like I said, I don't want to be going into too many specifics um, on this live stream, just because I know not everyone has seen House of the Dragon. But I would absolutely love to see just how everything plans out with those characters specifically. I want to see what they're gonna say to each other if they see each other again. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And especially if they go face to face, that would be wonderful to see on screen. I hope it doesn't do any more time jumps. Definitely, I've heard people say there's no more time jumps in the books at least. So I think that should be the last one, the last like major one that is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have not seen any spoilers from the books. No, just gonna be avoiding that as much as I can because I don't want to know. How long does an edit usually take per movie? Looks like a lot of work. It depends on the movie, but so let's say it's like a 2-hour film. It'll probably take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to edit. But it could be less, it could be more. Because the thing is, it's like I can either be a really hard worker and could be like going really fast and really, or sometimes I might really be stumped on like how I want to like cut up a certain scene. And then I have to like, okay, I need to like find a way to make sure the audio's mixed. You also have to make sure the audio's mixed properly because sometimes the dialogue can be like too loud and it'll go over my voice and I have to make sure I adjust that properly. So it's usually like double the length of whatever I watched, pretty much. That's just basically a way to see it. So if I watched a 2-hour movie, it's probably going to take about, let's say 4 hours, maybe. But it could take shorter. Like I said, it just depends. Are you team black or green? That show, I definitely agreed with. Um, I would say Team Black for the most part, but I also can see a lot of the characters, specifically Allison. I understand where she's coming from in some cases, and but I wouldn't be on her side necessarily just because there's a lot of. It's just not. Like, I just don't agree with a lot of it, you know. Could you please roast yourself more in your edits? Yeah, I've done that a couple times. I should do that more. AMC normally airs movies throughout the rest of the day, and I've seen that they keep some of the F bombs in those movies. Oh, really? Has something to do with the time of day. That's weird. Oh. Punisher is a great show, in my opinion. Season 2 is a little disappointing, but I love season 1. I'm loving season 2 so far, but like I said, only halfway through it. So, last question: any suggestions or predictions for Avengers: Secret Wars? So, I think it's just gonna be like, and I know we keep getting these, rumors for all these different movies and stuff. I genuinely think it's just gonna be a conglomeration of every Marvel project of all time. No, I'm not even exaggerating. And I know that's like everyone kept saying that. Oh, that's what Doctor Strange 2 was gonna be. Oh, that's what. I genuinely think it's just gonna take. I think it's gonna be like a closing of the multiverse. So it's going to. There's no more multiverse shit after that movie. They're gonna end that shit. The whole multiverse is gonna close off, and that one universe is gonna stay on its own. And all the other stuff's just gonna go away for good. It's gonna close it out. It's gonna kill it, right? But it's gonna be a way to send off all of those stories and all those universes. So Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man will likely be in it, but it will be his last appearance as Spider-Man, most likely. Unless they decide to one day maybe do a Spider-Man 4 or something, have him in his own universe, sure. But like in terms of in the MCU, this is his last appearance. I think you'll have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, who's going to be in Deadpool 3. He's going to be there as well. I think there's going to be a big focus on that. You're going to have probably people coming back from the old Fox movies as well. Fantastic Four. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Evans shows up as fucking, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's going to be like, it's hard to say because we haven't seen Kang Dynasty. So I want Doctor Doom to be involved. If Doctor Doom's not involved, I will be upset. But at the same time, it's like, how can you involve him when he hasn't been included yet? They haven't even shown his character yet. So how can you just throw him in there? But I don't know if you guys have heard of Secret Wars comics or like know about them, but there is a big emphasis on Doctor Doom in them. And I really want to see him in live action and see him, a good version of him in live action and see how the MCU handles him. But like to not have him in Secret Wars is going to be kind of weird. I guess we'll see. It could be just Kang as the main focus, and then it's going to be like, I guess, the Council of Kang, so it's going to be multiple of them, obviously. And like I said, big focus on those characters like Tobey's Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And they'll have a whole new Avengers there. You're going to have Doctor Strange, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I'm sure She-Hulk will be there, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson's Captain America. You'll a bunch of stuff like that. So I'm excited for it, but I have no idea, to be honest. I don't think it's going to come out till like 2028, so we have a long time. Hard to talk about without spoiling. Yeah, I agree. It's only going to be 8 episodes, season 2. Oh, I mean, that's definitely not as long as the other seasons, but, it's all right. It's all right. As long as it's good, it's fine. Are you going to play Miles Morales? Oh, you know what's hilarious? The way you said that, I thought you were asking me, am I going to like play as him in a movie? And I was like, bro, that makes no sense on multiple levels. But yeah, I'm going to play the game for sure. What time is it in your area? 9:35 p.m. I'm honestly okay with it, as I do wish some storylines were shown more, as long as the pacing doesn't go warp speed like Game of Thrones is not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't really know anything about the books, so I can't really say how much stuff is left, Would you let your hair grow out like Kristen Cole? I did that once, not that long, but like long, and I don't know. I just cut it whenever I get annoyed by it, whenever I get to a point where I'm like, I don't want this anymore. The only thing I know about Doctor Doom is the card in Marvel Snap. Damn. Yeah, so I mean, Doctor Doom, he does have a big place in Secret Wars, and I do think we're gonna see a lot of what's in the Secret Wars comics. I don't know if we're gonna actually see Doctor Doom, but we're probably gonna have the whole Battle World thing. It's probably gonna be just like, you know, they're gonna have Battle World, right? Which Battle World is this whole other like place where this person, what was it called? The Beyonder, I think it's called, something like that. There's some person that like puts everyone into this Battle World thing, and it's probably gonna be like the Kangs are gonna have this, they're gonna try to take over the world, like the multiverse and everything like that. They're trying to do everything they're doing, and then maybe the TVA or something involved will take people from all these different universes and put them in Battle World to fight Kangs. That's my guess. I don't know, but we'll see. I would love a Jaharis spinoff. There's so many spinoffs they can do. I want to see Harrenhal before it was destroyed. That opening set piece was amazing. Yeah, that'd be cool. That's the thing. Game of Thrones to me is the same as a lot of other universes where you really could do so many things. It's just, you got to have good filmmakers or, showmakers working behind that shit, because you have to have good damn writing to it, or else it's just not going to work. Do you have any death predictions for the multiverse saga? Death predictions. I mean, they'll kill off a bunch of those, like I was talking about, like the Fox characters will probably die. They'll kill them all off for sure. I think Deadpool 3 is gonna have a fun time killing off characters. I would. Oh, that'd be so fucking funny, dude. I actually know. I can't tell you how much I want not Captain America, Chris Evans, Johnny Storm to show up in Deadpool 3 and for him to get killed. I for some reason I think that would be hilarious. Like, I think Deadpool 3 has so much potential just to do some crazy shit with the Fox stuff. Wait, was that, no, I know that was an X-Men universe, but was that still owned by Fox, the Fantastic Four stuff, or am I wrong about that? I don't remember. But they can have fun with that. I know there's gonna be a lot of crazy shit going on in that movie. But I really don't know about any other big deaths though. I can't really think of any. It'll just be a bunch of those old characters that they just clean slate, I'm really looking forward to the Daryl Dixon finale. Me as well. Would you like to see more incest between Targaryens for future seasons? Maybe a little bit, as long as it's entertaining. Not that I approve of it, but as long as it's entertaining. Favorite soundtracks from The Walking Dead. Season 6, episode 8. The ending sequence has some of my favorite music. Actually, I had a whole video. I'll link it to you right now. This doesn't include season 7, so you have to just, remember it's just season. It's just up to season 10, I think. I'll literally link it to you right now, though, because I literally. Here. It was one of my first videos on this channel, actually. And I literally, ranked the top 25 best soundtracks. And, yeah, my favorite one was, the one when they were all standing up, covered in Walker guts. I mean, here's a little bit of it right here. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, that one. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that one. That one's fucking amazing. I think the music in the show is incredible. It's just peak stuff. Okay. Deadpool 3 must include deaths. It's going to be so fucking cool, man. I hope so. I hope it's cool and good. Space Junk is a classic. Oh, we're talking about actual songs that were in The Walking Dead. That's a harder one because I don't remember those as well. I'm thinking of whenever someone says soundtrack, I think that tells you a lot about a person. Actually, I don't know if it tells you a lot about a person, but I think it's interesting because when people say soundtracks, technically that includes any licensed music, but it also includes original music made for it. But whenever someone says soundtracks, I immediately think of the original music made for it. I immediately think of the composed scores made for the movie. Whereas a lot of people think about the licensed songs, and that's the first thing they think about. And I think it depends on the project. If someone asks, what's your favorite soundtrack from Guardians of the Galaxy? Like you might think of the actual licensed songs because that's what it's well known for. But if you say Interstellar, of course you're gonna know they're talking about the composed music because like what licensed song is even in Interstellar? You know what I mean? I know exactly what you're talking about. I listen to them all the time. My favorite soundtrack from the entire show was the final scene. Bro, I cannot listen to that soundtrack without crying. I'm not kidding. I mean, you guys see my reaction to that. I literally was the most I've cried probably my like almost in my entire life. I'm not like I don't know how. Like everything just came out of me at once. If I ever put on that song again, like I have to tear up. Like it just has to happen. It's crazy. Did you know that the White Worm was the first master of the Whispers in the Game of Thrones universe? Really? That's cool. Blackbird song was cool. I think that was used for Bob. That was a good song, yeah. Any predictions about the possible mutants saga? Well, it makes sense after the multiverse focused on the mutants. You know, that should be the thing they focus on after the multiverse because that will be the next big thing. They'll probably have Galactus and, you know, all that. Not Galactus. What was I go? Not Galactus. Who was the other guy? Who's the other fucking guy? Who am I thinking of? I'm forgetting the name. Whatever. They're going to have a big focus on the mutants, X-Men, and all that stuff. And it's going to be really cool. Really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to it. They could do Galactus. I've been hearing rumors they're going to have Galactus in Fantastic Four, but I don't know about that. That might be too soon. I love Ben McCreary. Me too. Definitely one of my favorite composers. Oh, he does the music for Outlander too? That's cool. No spoilers, but I hear something about cheese that is really bad in the House of the Dragon. I don't know what you're referring to. Unless I'm just forgetting. Cheese. I don't know. No spoilers, I know. If anybody does, they out of here. They're never commenting again. Cried like a baby during that scene too. Don't worry, it was emotional as hell and it punched me in the face. Yep, happened to me too. Speaking of crying, what's the saddest death you've seen in a TV show? Like I said, I can't say it because of spoiling, but I'll just tell you what the TV show or movie is. The Walking Dead season 7, episode 1. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Or even season 3, episode 4. Or you could say season 11, episode 24. Or you could say season... What other sad deaths were in that show? I'm not saying the names though, because I don't want to spoil it, like I said. Those are probably the saddest ones. Oh, season 4, episode 8. Definitely up there. That's for The Walking Dead specifically. But other things, movies, The Green Mile had a really sad death. Logan had a sad death. I could definitely think of more, but that's what I'm going to give you now. Wait a minute, it's your birthday? Well, in 2 days, so technically not yet, but it's close. It's almost there. I couldn't stream in 2 days, so that's why I did it today. Happy birthday, mate. I've been watching you for months now and still don't know your name. Is it just me or is it a you thing? It's Dan. It's Dan. I don't say it that often. I just don't. I have no reason to, I guess, but I have no problem with telling people. A popular opinion, season 7 of The Walking Dead might be my favorite. I think it's very underrated. Yeah, that's definitely an unpopular opinion, but you're totally entitled to that. I think it's underrated. There's a lot of good moments to it, but it's probably my least favorite season just because I felt like it was too slow. There wasn't enough like eventful things happening, but I could see why someone would love it a lot though, because there is a lot of like unique stuff to it. So, and it's got one of the best episodes in the show with the premiere. So there's that. Okay. I haven't even watched The Walking Dead. I know which death you mean. Yeah. Everyone knows. I feel like if people had never seen the show, no, it's always that. Yeah. That was one of the most watched episodes in television. I think it was up there for sure. Everyone was talking about it. Like even kids in school I remember I was in high school. I was in 10th grade, something like that, sophomore. And literally, like, nobody or a lot of people who never has not been talking about the show for weeks. Like, nobody's been saying shit. And then, like, that episode comes up. Literally, everyone's talking about it the next day. Every single person was talking about it. Even my teachers were talking about it. And it was the craziest thing ever. But yeah, I miss those days. I don't think it's slow. If you miss out Tara's episode and the well, it actually goes by fast. You gotta skip those ones. No. I actually like the Tara's episode, kind of. It's underrated. Dan, before you go, happy early birthday again. Hope you have a great day in real life with loved ones. Enjoy your treat, and thank you all for all you do for us. It's also appreciated. Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate all those words. Have a great day, man. I would have been happy if season 7 and 8 were like combined, but a longer season. The pace of 7 was iffy, but episode 1 definitely S tier. Yeah. I think you could have probably slimmed down both the seasons and they were both like 12 episodes each. Maybe that would have worked better. I don't think you have to combine them, but maybe just make them both shorter. You know, a little shorter, not too much. Not too much. People tell me they could have been like cut in half. I was like, nah, that's not. It couldn't be cut in half. There's no way. My teacher is literally the one who put me on The Walking Dead. Yeah, I had a lot of actually my psych teacher, senior year of high school, he hated The Walking Dead. Me and him used to argue so much. He's actually one of the reasons I went into psychology. Because I was like, oh, I like this stuff. I went into it in college. But like we used to have some beef because this was around the time season 9 was out, and I was telling him, I'm like, yo, the show's getting pretty good now. Like, come on, you gotta watch it. And he's like, no, man, I stopped watching that shit. I was like, come on. We used to like argue about it. It was funny. Bro, you got stamina, apparently. How can I send you a gift? You don't have to do none of that. It's all right. I actually was thinking about setting up a P.O. box one day, but I never did. It's like 3 a.m. here in the UK, and I've got a job interview tomorrow. So happy birthday again, and thanks for all the content. Oh, good luck on that. Wow. You better smash that. You better get that job. I'll be hoping for you. But yeah, about the P.O. box thing, I was gonna set one up, but I never did because I realized I don't want people to know my location. I know you could do it from like a separate location, but I also and then I thought to myself, I'm like, it's so expensive to do it too. I didn't realize it was gonna be that much. I looked it up. It was like a ridiculous amount of money. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that. And I've also heard some horror stories. Not that I think any of you would do it, but I've heard people I've heard about people sending like poop and stuff to P.O. boxes. I couldn't handle that. If I opened up a bag of poop, I think I'd cry. See, the thing is, the Long Claw, right? You would have to buy the most expensive P.O. box possible for the Long Claw to even fit. Because I was looking it up. Like, if you wanted a really expensive one, it was like pretty tiny. It was like this big. I was like, how can you even fit stuff in there? And you want to buy a bigger one, it's even more money. I'm like, oh my God. I think most people who have P.O. boxes set up, they already have them to begin with. So then they just put them on their channel anyways. But like, I don't think I could do that, man. It's too much. In your honest opinion, is House of Dragon just as good as Game of Thrones? I think the first season is better than the first season of Game of Thrones. And yeah, Mike just said that right there. But yeah, do I think it's better than like the best season of Game of Thrones? No. I still would prefer Game of Thrones seasons like 3 and 4 over it, but it's really great. So far, it's great. I think it has potential to be better in the end. It doesn't have to be better. There's no reason it has to be better. It's great on its own. I think it's solid. My friend stopped watching just before N was introduced, so I assume middle of 6. I need to get him back on it. Yeah, N was introduced around that time, well, towards the end of that, yeah. We're calling him N. My best friend stopped watching after Rick's last episode, and I still argue with him about it. Yeah, there's some great stuff after that. I think season 9 is fantastic, so... Season 10 has its moments. Some of it I really didn't like. But honestly, my like distaste for season 10 has more to do with it not living up to the comics more so than it has to do with the actual quality. I don't think it's that bad. It just doesn't live up to the comics whatsoever. The comics Whisper War was oh, but I feel like the show just didn't live up to it, but whatever. Season 11 I think was better, but not perfect. I'll go rewatch The Walking Dead. Oh yeah, or rematch. You said rematch, but I think you meant rewatch. But rematch works too, I guess. I'll send you a White Claw. I don't like White Claws. I've had like 2 in my entire life, and I just don't like them. They don't taste good. I don't like alcohol in general. I'll be honest. I'm not an alcohol person to begin with. Like I don't drink that often. I'm guessing he doesn't drink anything except water, pretty much. There was actually one. No. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but there was one reaction where I actually was drinking. Like I was drinking alcohol during it. I don't know why. I don't remember why, but I think it was the Django Unchained reaction. I was drinking. It might have been a White Claw actually, but I was drinking it in a cup, so it wasn't like in the can. It was in the cup. I don't know why I was doing that, but I just was for some reason. So I don't know. But I don't drink that often. Half of the extra episodes of season 10 was unnecessary. Yeah, that's true. But Grimes in season 5 is peak. Yeah, season 4, 5, 6, he's pretty awesome. I don't think you have to have a big P.O. box to get big package though. You just pick them up at the counter. Oh, that probably is true. I don't know. I just, regardless, they're expensive. Even the small ones are expensive. So I don't know if it'd be worth it. Like maybe I can try it for like a month and just see what people send, but like, I don't know if it's worth it. And then people would know the town I live in, and that would be kind of scary. So I don't know. Like, sure, I could set up the P.O. box in the town over, but it's like, it's still too close to where I live. I don't want people knowing all that. Now we're going to go back and see if you got progressively louder. Well, I think I literally only had like one. So I don't think I was actually like tipsy whatsoever, but I was just drinking it for some reason. Like just for no reason whatsoever. You see how many of us love what you're doing and willing to send you gifts. I get that, but it's like I said, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's a scary thing to do. FaZe Jev has some wild PO box openings. I haven't seen his, but I've seen some other YouTubers. Like I've seen people send poop before. When I get a big packages in a PO box, they put a slip in the box, and okay, that's good to know. Still don't think I want to do it though. All right. We've been streaming for a while. 2 hours. I thought we were gonna be like the 1 hour 40 mark, but we're at 2 hours 30 minutes. Damn. All right. Yeah, I gotta go. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all the birthday wishes and the donations and just people just being in the chat. Appreciate all of it. The next stream I'll probably do. I don't know what it'll be for. I was gonna do like a 35,000 subscriber like thing, but like I mean that's no different than me just doing a normal Q&A stream. So I'll probably do one next month, just like I usually do. Like I try to do one every month, and definitely towards the end of the year we will do like that video or that stream where we rank every movie that I saw from 2023, like every 2023 movie. So that'll be fun. Are you gonna play the Walking Dead Destinies when it comes out? Yes, I will. Comes out next month, I think. All right. I'll see you all later. Thank you for watching. Peace out.